And what a way to start our week it is. Here on a Monday, we reconvene yet again for yet another basketball night here on NBC. It is a Peacock game, NBC as well. So if you have the nationally covered games, if you have the ability to get to those, you can watch along here with us here tonight as the Magic look to take on the Atlanta Hawks here today in Atlanta. It should be a good game. 38-28 meets 36-31. Both of these teams battling to stay out of the play-in situation. And we do have a pretty decent amount to talk about. So let's go ahead, dial it up, and let's start the show. Yup, and after all that time, man, it feels like we've been away forever. Yeah, right? We did 3 games yesterday, and we are back yet again here tonight. Here tonight because we don't miss basketball games. Joseph, what's up, Joseph? David Alexander, what's up, David? Rather watch Italy-Venezuela basketball? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pretenders game tonight? I don't know. I want to check in. It's been a minute since we've watched a Magic game. It's been a minute since we've watched a Hawks game. What's been going on with them? They've been excellent as of late between these two teams. So let's go ahead and check them out. Let's see. Are they indeed pretenders? Are they pretenders? Are they ready to go? Are they catching fire at the right time? Are they playing significantly better, especially after the trade deadline, specifically for Atlanta? But we can go ahead and break it down here. The Atlanta Hawks are in 9th. They're on a 9-game winning streak. So they're going for 10 here today. Orlando's on a 7-game winning streak. They're going for 8. Both of these teams playing exceptionally well. Orlando doing it without Franz Wagner, right? So we're going to start with the best player on the opposite team, on the road team, and that is Paulo Banchero. As Franz Wagner, in my estimation, when fully healthy, the best player on this team. But not healthy Franz Wagner remaining out of the lineup. My goodness, he's been out of the lineup for forever. Tay Cowboys, what's up, Tay? Ty Eagles, what's up, Ty? We got my guy, Sons Jen, with a gifted membership earlier in the chat. My goodness, brother, what a way to start off the week. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for your generosity. We had Vic and Jay Hammer earlier in the chat. Let's go ahead. Let's break it down. Joseph said, you do once in a while. Should you take a break from basketball once in a while? I love basketball. Season's winding down. And I know once the season is over, or at when the conference finals start and the regular season is done and we don't really have basketball every single night anymore, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it. So might as well take it in as much as we can right now. Because at some point it's not going to be here. David said, big game night tomorrow, Knicks and USA Baseball. Yep. And the Knicks are playing the Indiana Pacers, so you know it's going to be another dogfight of a game against these Pacers. My goodness. John Brenner, what's up, John? Muhammad, what's up, Muhammad? Oda Austin, what's up, Oda? So let's go ahead. Let's start off with Paolo. I will say, it was a significantly busier day at work today than usual. So my plan was to come home and update the player graphics. I did not get home until about an hour ago. So we ate something real quick. We took a shower, and then we came right back down here. So these are not fully updated player graphics. The last time we watched a Magic game, I could look it up, but it was probably weeks ago, maybe even a month ago. So not fully updated player graphics here today, but we can just go ahead and talk about these players in general as we go down the graphics here. Joe said the Hawks, have the Hawks been playing good, Chevy? They have. They're on a 9-game winning streak. It's funny because they are the 9th seed in the Eastern Conference. They go on a 9-game winning streak, and guess what? They are the 9th seed still in the Eastern Conference while on a 9-game winning streak. Absolutely insane. A lot of that has to do with the fact that everybody in the East suddenly went on a winning streak. So almost all these teams they either went west or the West came east and were playing the East, and the East just mopped up and slapped the Western Conference up and down the court. right? So the Charlotte Hornets sitting at 34 and 34. They are the 10 seed. The Atlanta Hawks at 36 and 31. They will likely remain as the 9th. Well, they're tied with Philly for that 9th seed. My goodness, Philly, what a fall from grace. They might be the 9th seed after hanging around 5 all season. Oof. Joe said, wow. So it is true the Hawks are better without Trae Young. I knew that. Well, they made not just the Trae Young deal, but we'll go to it. We'll get to it with Atlanta. They made a couple of deals that helped improve their team pretty dramatically. But I think overall, it's safe to say, yeah, I think they're a little bit better without Trae Young. It gives them an identity that they can lean into as opposed to just, hey, we're Trae Young's team, which was their previous identity. Now they actually have an identity of a defensive first-minded team that moves the ball around. But we'll get to Atlanta when we get to Atlanta. Let's go ahead and start talking about Paulo Banchero here because when the criticism is loud, boy, oh boy, does everybody hear it, does everybody see it, and it's a little bit warranted. Excuse me. And Paulo Banchero has been victim of a ton of criticism this season, and I think a lot of it warrants it, right? Holding the ball on too long, settling for those mid-range shots, not involving his teammates too much, commandeering the basketball too often, playing out of the high post area but never generating good enough shots, having J. Lopez, what's up, J. Lopez, having access to Desmond Bane this year, which is something they haven't had, a reliable three-point shooter, not utilizing him correctly. Now, that obviously falls on the coaching staff as well as the best player in Paulo Banchero, but not being able to run a two-man game with him just felt like, oh man, Paolo's just not figuring it out. And lo and behold, he has this meeting with Orlando's coaching staff, specifically, obviously, their head coach, Jamal Mosley. And he has been playing significantly better, making smarter decisions, making quicker decisions, trusting his teammates a little bit more, and that has paid off in dividends for his team overall in terms of helping them win basketball games because now everybody's getting involved, everybody's starting to knock down shots. Guys like Desmond Bane starting to come around. Speaking of, no Franz Wagner, like we talked about, he's been out for a while, and this is a really, really weird situation with Franz Wagner. Hopefully, he come back for the last couple of games of the regular season so we can get him in the playoffs. But when we, man, I will say I should update the picture. Shout out Jaylen Suggs. He did it, y'all. I can no longer go on the rant. He dropped the top. It's no longer there. He's rocking the baldy. It's no longer there for Jaylen Suggs. He's rocking the baldy. He cut the hair. I got to change the picture. Hold on. Maybe I could pull it up over here. But, you know, I have... John Jensen happy for us all. Joseph said that's good. That's good. I have hammered all season long about how Jaylen Suggs needed to get rid of whatever the heck was on top of his head. And he finally did. He finally did. So in fairness, I'm not going to do, and of course there's no pictures. Okay, here we go. In fairness, I'm not going to do the full rant on him. Instead, I'm just going to go ahead, throw him up over here. Shout out Jaylen Suggs. This is from Clutch Points, a picture from Clutch Points. He dropped the top. Look at it. He looks good. You look good, my boy. You look good. Shout out Jaylen Suggs. He's rocking the baldy. It was finally time to give it up. He gave it up, and you look good. You're better off for it. You are better off for it, Jaylen. You look good, my boy. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you, Jaylen. I'm rooting for you, Jaylen. Embrace the bald, Pa. Embrace the bald. There's nothing wrong with being bald. You just can't walk around in the world looking like this, right? So he finally went to a barber, and the barber said, "Listen, man, I'm not shaping that up. There's nothing there. I'll cut it off for you, and I'll make you look nice. I get it nice and clean." And he did just that. Now, just a little bit of advice to Jaylen Suggs: when you go out into the world, make sure the sun hit the head evenly, or else you're gonna end up with some wild tan lines, right? Don't always rock a hat. Go ahead, let the sun hit the top of that bald head, because the top of your dome is different color than your face, and that's because you just got the hair cut off. You gotta let the sun tan that skin up just a little bit, Get everything all even. But after that, I'm proud of Jaylen Suggs, right? I'm proud of Jaylen Suggs. Now let's get back to basketball for one Jaylen Suggs. He's been dealing with injuries all year. He's built up the reputation, and rightfully so, as an injury-prone player. He had a miserable season last year dealing with injuries. He's having a miserable season this year dealing with injuries, although slightly better. I believe he's playing today. As a matter of fact, let me pull up their injury report. I believe he's playing today. He has been back on the team, but he's dealing with a minutes restriction, as always is the case with guys like Jaylen Suggs coming back from injury. You don't want to force him. Vic said, I'll miss that wavy thing. It was about time, I will say. It was about time. Finally. Jaylen Suggs, in my estimation, I've always considered him to be the second most important player on this team in order for this team to win basketball games. It is between Franz Wagner at 1, Suggs at 2, Banchero at 3, Bane at 4. But Jaylen Suggs, his point of attack defense, his ability to be a ball handler and a point guard and a leader out on the court, his shot making, right? The ability of him to actually rise up and shoot confidently from 3, and not just from 3, but from deep as well. An aspect that this team just doesn't really have outside of Desmond Bane, right? And so having another guy out there to play off of Wagner and Banchero's rim pressure goes a long way. Paul said, I like this Magic team, but they're incredibly fragile. They are incredibly fragile. Speaking of, obviously we know no Franz Wagner, but also no Anthony Black, who's out with the abdomen injury. And Jonathan Isaac just got hurt the other day against the Wizards, so he is out with a knee sprain. He's without a timetable to return, and that's unfortunate, but Jonathan Isaac, injury prone. Franz Wagner has proven to be injury prone. Jaylen Suggs has been proven to be injury prone. Banchero, I wouldn't call him injury prone, but he's dealt some injuries here and there, but nothing out of the ordinary. Same with Desmond Bane. But this Magic team, man, they just can't stay out of their own way in terms of health. So it is very difficult for the win. The second best player on the court tonight for the Orlando Magic will end up being Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane having a very good season on his new team for the first time. Rotun Calzone, what's up, Rotun? Is this a finals preview? It can't be a finals preview, brother. It's two teams in the same conference. A conference finals preview? Sure, maybe, possibly, I guess. Desmond Bane, 19 points per game, 4.5 boards, 4.5 assists. Again, these are not fully updated. Going back to, 3 or 4 weeks or so was the last time we probably covered a Magic game. So I just want to put that out there. But we know what Desmond Bane is capable of. The three-point shooting has been on the rise for him. The last time we checked in, it was at 34%. I believe he's closer to like 37 to 38% now. Vic said 0 wingspan doesn't matter. I mean, there's a reason why I picked this picture right here. There's a reason why I picked this picture where he's got the alligator arm working for him. Those little tiny things. But if there's anything Desmond Bane can do, it's could shoot that ball, right? Now, obviously, we know he's not having as dominant of a three-point shooting season as he had when he was back with Memphis. He is shooting 49% from the field, so that has skyrocketed as he's done a much better job of leveraging his shooting and going to the rim. But the thing that also has helped his field goal percentage is the fact that the three-point shot is starting to go down. He's shooting it at 38.7% right now, which is obviously a huge increase from where he was previously. And only 2.2 turnovers is always a great sign for a guy like Desmond Bane. Paul said, I'm glad Bane is finally hitting his stride in Orlando. Yeah, it took a while, but he's figured it out. He's hitting his stride. So have his other teammates, and his coaching staff have figured out the best ways to utilize Desmond Bane's skill set. As I wiped my nose from that sneeze before, guys. Apologize. My goodness. But overall, Desmond Bane is figuring it out. But the issue with Orlando is like he's going to have to figure it out again when Franz gets reintroduced. But hopefully he now knows where his shots are coming from. And the addition of Franz will only allow him to get easier shots from those locations, and he'll continue to play well. Benzino, what's up, Benzino? What a terrific choice, Chevy. I'm so interested to see which team is for real. Thanks. I think it's the best game on the docket right now. There was also another good game, if I go back and check the NBA slate. So it was between this game, which is the earliest game possible. It starts at 7, or it was Suns Celtics. And shout out to Suns. I do find the Suns very fun and interesting to watch. But without Dylan Brooks, it's an uphill climb against the Celtics. You want your full slate of players. I want to see a healthy team. But obviously no Franz Wagner today. But again, they're on a 7-game winning streak, Orlando is. And Atlanta's on a 9-game winning streak. So you did want to watch these two teams go at it, right? Something on the line for them. Pedro Pan, what's up, Pedro? Who do you think is going to win? This is a good question. I truly don't know. Part of the reason, also, my intrigue with this game is we've covered Celtics games very recently. I have not covered a Magic and Hawks game in a while. either one of these teams have yet to get covered on the channel in, I want to say like 3 or so weeks or so. So it's been a while. I don't know what they're up to. I don't know what they look like. All I know is from the outside looking in, 7-game winning streak for the Magic, 9-game winning streak for Atlanta. They're playing very well, obviously, from the outside looking in. We got to tune in and check out why. We got to tune in and check out why, especially considering that both of these teams will likely be in the playoffs, and at worst, obviously, will be in the play-in. So let's check them out. Let's evaluate them. Let's see what we can pull from this game here tonight. Hopefully it's a good one and both teams show up ready to go. I believe they will. It is an NBC primetime game, 7 o'clock start time, and it is in Atlanta. So, Ozahar, what's up, Ozahar? Magic are on a mission? They are indeed. They are indeed. So let's go down. Wendell Carter Jr. is often the forgotten 5th starter for this Orlando team. He's their starting center, and I've talked about it constantly about how he can do. He's good at a lot of things, pretty much everything that you want a center to be good at. The problem is that he wasn't really knocking down the three-point shot with consistency, and teams were just simply sagging off of him and daring him to shoot threes. And he's not good enough at any one thing to distinguish himself in any other category. So if he wanted to be good at everything, he needed to be good at everything, right? So he finally started to get that three-point shot up to respectable levels. It's still not where you want it to be. In terms of its consistency, but it's respectable. You have to respect Wendell Carter Jr. out there. Some teams will still dare him to shoot and see if he's got anything. Paul said Carter is forgotten for a reason. He is our biggest liability. Very fair, very true. Very fair, very true. Like I said, though, he's good at he's not bad. He's not a bad rebounder. He's not a bad playmaker from the high post. He's not a bad scorer. He's not a bad defender. But he's not great at any one thing. And usually, you'll take a player being maybe a bad perimeter shooter if they can be a dominant inside defensive force, right? Or a dominant rebounder. I will take one thing off the table if I can make you great at any one thing. And he's just good and solid at everything, which makes you a liability in the NBA, where there's specialists and incredible players who have very specific skill sets in the NBA. And to just be solid at everything isn't really going to cut it in the NBA, which is why, again, if you're going to be solid at everything, you better be solid at everything. And again, that three-point shot has been inconsistent this year. 35% is solid. It's respectable, but it's been inconsistent. And again, he doesn't have anything else that distinguishes him out there on the court, which is why he's the forgotten 5th setter, like Paul said. There is a reason. There is a reason. He said, I'd rather see Mo get minutes. It is nice to finally have Mo back. At least you have the option, right, Paul? At least you have the option now of going to Mo if Wendell Carter Jr. is not giving you the things you need. Now, we talked about Anthony Black not being available here today. He's out with the abdomen injury, which is really, really disappointing for a Magic team that doesn't have a ton of depth with ball handlers. I know they made some moves and some trades to get other guys. I believe Javon Carter, right? Am I crazy? Who did Javon Carter end up with? Let me go to the rosters. Fill me in, Paul. You can fill me in, brother. Let me know. Like I said, it's been a while since we covered one of these teams. Yeah, Javon Carter. See, I know what I'm talking about. Javon Carter has stepped in for the injured Anthony Black here, and he's been fine. Let me know how you feel about Carter, Paul, but he's been fine. He's been serviceable in the couple of instances that I've been able to tune into Magic games here. But he's obviously not a solution, right? He's just kind of a little patch until a guy like Anthony Black can come back. But without him, they're down a very good perimeter defender, a rising young player in this league. Again, at the time, he was averaging around 15 points per game. He was solid for them off the bench, was probably going to be in the running for 6th man of the year. But with all the injuries, was forced into the starting lineup, and so he was kind of removed from that conversation as well. He's developing nicely. Paul said serviceable is an accurate description. Yeah, and that's kind of all you need from Javon Carter right now. Again, until you get Anthony Black back, he's obviously not the solution. He's probably not going to be a part of the finished rotation when fully healthy come playoff time. Hopefully the Magic are healthy come playoff time. But Javon Carter, serviceable for now, filling in for Anthony Black in the injury, which is important. And shout out Big Mo Wagner. I don't believe... Again, by the time we covered Mo Wagner, it was one of his first couple of games back. He's averaging 8 points, 3.5 boards, so not a far cry from what he was averaging when we covered him. Franz Wagner, we know what he's capable of. Obviously, he's bounced around the league a little bit here. Lakers, Washington, Boston, and has now spent the last 1, 2, 3, 4. This is his 5th season in Orlando already. My goodness, he's been here for forever. Feels like he just got here yesterday, but We know what he's capable of when fully healthy. He just has not been fully healthy. He's obviously coming back from the ACL injury, which is a very devastating injury, especially for big men at 6'11". For him, the comfortability is obviously still building. He's only averaging 13 minutes per game. He's clearly on a little bit of a minutes restriction when he first came back from the injury. Then they're going to try and scale him up as it continues. Like Paul said earlier, I'm sure many Magic fans are like, yeah, we would like to see Mo Wagner. When fully healthy, this Magic team is a very deep team. The issue is that they have rarely been healthy these past 2 or so years. Probably longer, but overall, since they have been competing, my goodness. The health has just been a disaster overall. Tristan da Silva is a good, solid, serviceable wing. He is 24 years old, so there's still time for development for Tristan da Silva. I will say, every time I cover a Magic game, Tristan da Silva disappoints. This is no shade to Tristan da Silva, but I know he's had good games, but every time I cover a Magic game, he doesn't show me anything. So I'm still waiting to find out what makes Tristan da Silva a value part of this rotation. I believe it. I mean, I could look at the counting stats and be like, oh yeah, this is nice for a wing coming off the bench. 38% from three. He can knock it down. He can maybe attack a closeout every now and again. He's got the size to be a decent defender and whatnot. But again, I haven't seen it. Personally, I just haven't seen it. So I'm waiting for Tristan da Silva to show us a little bit more. Paul said his good games are far and few. Oof. Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't cover every single Magic game, right? So I tune in to maybe when we cover them, I try to follow it as best as I can as the season goes on. But again, there's 29 other teams in the league. But I try to cover and I try to follow as best as I can. So again, I know he's solid. Like, I know he gives you good minutes every now and again, but I have yet to see it with my own eyes as somebody who tunes in occasionally to these Magic games. John Brennan, what's up, John? TDS is hooping lately? Good. Then hopefully I get to watch Tristan Silva in full force here tonight. Let's go over to Atlanta, right? Is there anybody that we're missing with Orlando to cover? I know, obviously, with the injuries, they're using guys like Jace Richardson's getting minutes. Shout out Jace Richardson. Noah Penda's been getting minutes, so shout out Noah Penda. No Jonathan Isaac, so we should be seeing Penda here today. Outside of that, Jett Howard, I know, has gotten some spot minutes here and there. Is Jett Howard part of the rotation consistently at this point at 22 years old, still working his way, obviously, in the mix. As a young player, he's only 22 years old. I know Goga Batadze sometimes gets some spot minutes here and there, but with Mo Wagner back, I don't see how they can play three centers in the rotation. So, you know, these other guys have yet to get player graphics because they have not been consistently part of the rotation for the Magic. But moving forward, we will see. Now, as we slide over to the Atlanta Hawks over here now, you can see CJ McCollum's up on the screen. We know CJ McCollum ends up getting traded to the Atlanta Hawks in the Trae Young deal. He comes over with Corey Kispert. This is not the best player on the team. This is the best player on the team. Jalen Johnson is now the face of the Atlanta Hawks franchise, and for good reason, right? He played so well, he got Trae Young up out the building, right? 24, 10.5, and 8. My guy is a walking triple-double threat every single night. And I don't mean to rub this as if it was salt in the wound of Magic fans, but I think Jalen Johnson is everything that people thought Paulo Banchero was supposed to be. So far in what Paolo showed in his rookie year. They were like, oh, eventually he might get to this point. A big wing who could handle the ball, who could either bully his way to the basket or find his teammates out on the wings or cutting to the basket because he garners so much attention. That hasn't been the case with Paolo yet, as far as consistently being the case. Paul said that hurt. I'm sorry, Paul. I'm sorry. But Jalen Johnson, who was one of the top 5 ranked high school players in his draft class, did not have that great of a freshman season at Duke, ends up going, I believe, 17th in the draft, has just exploded into the face of the franchise here in Atlanta. 24, 10.5, and 8. Like I said, the guy's a walking triple-double threat. He does average 3.5 turnovers. As a matter of fact, let me pull him up. We could also pull up the injury report here for the Atlanta Hawks to make sure we have all the information we need. So as far as anybody not playing, nobody is hurt. Nobody on the injury report. Good. So if we go to Jalen Johnson, again, it has been a while since we've covered either one of these teams. So we're going to do something similar like we did with Orlando here. 23, 10.4, and 8. Okay, it's pretty much exactly the same. 49.5% from the field, though. He did go through he did go through a little bit of a slump while Trae Young was in the aftermath of Trae Young being traded. But three-point percentage is down to 35%, which is serviceable, but it's a far cry from where he was, hovering around 38%, hovering around 40% even before that. Jalen Johnson is good. He's solid. Extremely good. I don't want to downplay it. Extremely good. Extremely solid. The thing with Jalen Johnson is now that you're the face of the franchise, obviously everybody's game planning against you. It's not like people weren't game planning against him before either. But now that everybody's game planning against you, how do you respond? How do you keep your efficiency? And how do you keep these turnovers down? That's another thing I wanted to look up. Turnovers, because they are high, it's a 3.3. So anything between 3 and 3.5. I'm looking at you sideways, but I understand. High turnover rate for a high usage player. Okay, I'll let it slide, but I'm looking at you. Don't get it any higher. So he's taking them down a little bit from where it was at 3.5. Paul said, what's it like to have a team that's healthy? Can any Atlanta fans comment? Any Atlanta fans in the chat, let them know. Because Atlanta, fully healthy, on a 9-game winning streak. Fully healthy. So let's go back to C.J. McCollum. Shout out C.J. McCollum, who is kind of the second best player, kind of the second go-to player here on the Atlanta Hawks now after the Trae Young deal. He brings a veteran presence for them. He's going to help them probably make the playoffs and win whatever play-in situation they end up being involved in. He's been a big part of them going on this 9-game winning streak. He's exactly the kind of just point guard that they needed, as opposed to Trae Young, who is chaotic and not good defensively at all. C.J. McCollum he's not good defensively either, but he's not a train wreck defensively. He can hold his own for the most part, and I think that's all Atlanta kind of needed, because when Trae Young was playing, they needed to entirely shift their defensive game plan in order to protect Trae Young. Whereas C.J. McCollum, yeah, you kind of need to protect McCollum a little bit, especially now in his older age, but you don't need to cater to him defensively the way you needed to cater to Trae Young. C.J. McCollum can, for the most part, hold his own, even if he might burn you a couple of times. TJ, what's up, TJ? Duren could not get 2 assists last night. Yeah, it was a rough night for Jalen Duren against the Toronto Raptors. He's got to expand his game into being a little bit more than just a play finisher. Benzino said Dixon Way calls him expiring contract. This is fair. I actually think Atlanta would be wise to bring him back. Again, a veteran presence you want out there. And at some point, if you continue to add to this team, you want him being like a super sub 6-man for you at some point. But let's keep it going. We're going to go down to Dyson Daniels. And while Dyson Daniels is having a very, very disastrous offensive year, he's gotten slightly better as the season's gone on, of course. Hard to get any worse than where he was previously. But overall, Dyson Daniels' value is obviously added through his defense. And this season, he is averaging 1.9 steals and only 0.4 blocks. But 1.9 steals, 2 steals per game, over 2.5 stocks in combination, which is great. They don't call him the Great Barrier Thief for nothing, although last season he set the record, right? And he averaged 3 steals per game. My goodness, 3 steals. He's down 1 steal a game. Just his dad, what's up, Just his dad? 9-game winning streak, yep. Why win? 9-game winning streak. Aren't they tanking? They're not tanking. I don't think they have their pick. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know, but no tanking. Benzino said his birthday's tomorrow. Dyson Daniels. So we should see Dyson Daniels in peak form here today with your birthday on the way. I'd like to see Dyson Daniels play well. We know he's a complete liability from the perimeter. He's shooting 13% from three-point range this year, 48% from the field, 60% from the foul line. It's just not a very good offensive player at all so far this season. It's a far cry from where he was last year, where he was at least respectable. He was 34% from 3 last season, 31 the season before that, and 31.5 the season before that. Where this 13% from three-point range came from, I have absolutely no idea. And it's completely eliminated him as a three-point threat at all. He went from shooting 3 3-point attempts last season, which is obviously very low volume, especially for a guard, down to 1.5 this year. It's been slashed in half, which is an absolute disaster for Dyson Daniels. Now we get over to Mr. Disappointment, Zaccharie Risacher, and I hate calling him that because I I like Zaccharie Risacher. I want to like Zaccharie Risacher. But obviously, it's hard to like Zaccharie Risacher when he is the number 1 overall pick in last year's draft, or 2 years ago, however you define that. In the previous draft, 2 years ago. Just that the Kings are taking backward. So it might be East the cool kids are doing. Maybe. Zaccharie Risacher with 11, 3, and 1.6, 46% from the field, 33.5% from three-point range. It's just really not getting it done. He's not very impactful when he's out there. The defense is forgettable. The offense is also, unfortunately, forgettable. Where is Zaccharie Risacher when he's out there? You hardly feel his presence most times. And again, if you're not going to be fully developed offensively, you need somebody who's at least going to attack the glass. Or, I mean, he's up to a rebound. He's up an entire rebound here. He's up to 4 rebounds in comparison to the last time we covered a Hawks game. So he's doing that a little bit better, but his assists went down to 1.3 and scoring went down to 10.1. And his efficiency has gone down across the board. It's just not good enough. Right? You are not seeing positive development here for Zaccharie Risacher already in year 2. Now, obviously, development is not linear, but it is disappointing to see your number 1 overall pick, the star of the draft class, and obviously it was a very weak draft class, and he was not the prize that people were tanking for, but, he was drafted over Steph Castle, over Donovan Clingan, over Zach Edey, and while Zach Edey's been hurt, he's obviously a better prospect so far than Risacher has proven. There's just a lot of pessimism surrounding Zaccharie Risacher and what he has shown so far this season. And I tell you guys all the time, it has been proven true multiple times. The clock in the NBA is a lot quicker. It takes a lot quicker than people realize, than people may even recognize. Because at some point, this is at the end of year 2, going into year 3, they're going to have to start thinking about contract extensions and what that looks like. And obviously, it's very simple to just say, hey, they'll give him what is a fair contract for Zaccharie Risacher, where it's, he's obviously not getting a max rookie contract or anything like that. But it's just, how much more money, time, and development do you allocate over to Zaccharie Risacher before you just, try to sell as high as possible and move on? And move on from it. Paul said, Magic need Jace Richardson to step up. Wow, we have all these injuries. This should be his time to shine and start making a name for himself. It should be. How is he playing recently? Because I know he's kind of been getting some spot minutes in the rotation with dealing with all the injuries. He's been in there. How would you evaluate it, Paul? Because from what I've seen from Jace Richardson, he's kind of a dynamo. He either comes in and he has it or he doesn't. Mojo's a mojo. Jay Lopez said Atlanta's predicted to win. They are on a 9-game winning streak, and they are healthier than the Magic. So I would think so. I would think they have a little bit of an edge right now. Foong Pei, what's up, Foong Pei? Slapped your like because I trusted what you said one time, and it happened. Appreciate you, Foong Pei. Mojo said, I've been waiting on Jalen to hit that 0.5 to cash three parlays. YOLO, what's up, YOLO? Paul said poorly? Oof. What pick was he in the draft? Wasn't he a second-round pick, Jace Richardson? Bruce Fowler, what's up, Bruce? Greetings from the Humongous. The Lord Humongous, the Warrior of the Wasteland, the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla. Shout out to my guy, Bruce Fowler. Nickeil Alexander-Walker has been an absolute surprise, at least to me, so far this season. He is, I believe he's still 20-point-per-game scorer, right? He has been absolutely fantastic for this team. Let's go all the way up and pull up his most recent stats. He was averaging around, 20.3. I believe he's still averaging 20. Yeah, he's down to 20 even. But Bruce said, chopping it up and bringing it down. You're too humble, my friend. Appreciate you, Bruce. Appreciate you, brother. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 20 points per game, 3.4 boards, 3.7 assists. Slightly up than where it was last time. But with Trae Young out of the way, Nickeil Alexander is free to just shine, right? And I wrote it, I believe, down here. The defense has also been advertised for Nickeil Alexander-Walker, just an elite point-of-attack defender as well, ticking up his scoring and his offense overall. I believe he only averaged like 11 points with Minnesota last year. He averaged 9.4, even less than that. He didn't average double-digit points last year. Paul said Jace was the 25th pick. It's a little high. It's a little higher than where I thought he was going to go. Yeah, I mean, a small guard who, has obviously potential to be a dynamic scorer in this league. Maybe as a sixth man or whatever, but yeah. Poorly, I get feeling a little let down and describing his play as poorly so far, from the little that I've seen. Benzino said Suggs better than Naw. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I would say Suggs is better than Naw overall as a player as well. But Nickeil Alexander-Walker does something for this team that Atlanta just did not have, right? Especially with Trae Young being injured. But even with Trae Young, they didn't have somebody of his size who can threaten from three-point range and also ball handle and attack a pick and roll and get downhill and get into the paint and either knock down a floater or a step-back jumper. He's got a little bit of an in-between game. Decent finisher at the rim as well. 45% from the field is not the greatest, but it's fine. It's serviceable. It's good. We could work with that. But 20 points per game for Alexander Walker is absolutely spectacular and exactly what this team needed. And I didn't think he had it in him. So shout out to Alexander Walker for having a spectacular offensive season. Obviously, blows out of the water any previous career high he had, which was 12.8 points per game in year 3 with New Orleans. This year, 20 points per game. He's plus 11 in the scoring department, going from 9 to 20 this season. My goodness. Corey Kispert comes over in that Trae Young deal from the Washington Wizards, and it's funny because the resounding sentiment about Corey Kispert during his time in Washington was, man, if they could just get this guy over to an actually competitive basketball team, Corey Kispert, could really help them, as opposed to being on the tanking Washington Wizards all the time. Right? He came in as an older rookie anyway, and all the Washington Wizards were doing constantly was tanking. So now he's finally on a good team, and then, as a matter of fact, let me bring up his stats. It'll be the first time we get to watch C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert on this team since the trade happened. And we are getting ready for tip-off any second now. But Kispert, 9.7 points, 2.5 boards, 1.7 assists. He's up to 47% from the field. Obviously a far cry from what he was accomplishing down there in Washington. Again, it was difficult. It was difficult to get Corey Kispert anything going because clearly he has the kind of skill set to play off of other stars. Ryan Woods with the Brian, how long till tip-off? Literally like 10 seconds. Onyeka Okongwu's like Wendell Carter Jr., the forgotten starter on this team, moving on from Clint Capella, they handed the reins over to Onyeka Okongwu. Kristaps Porzingis could not stay healthy. And Okongwu, at one point I thought could be the anchor, a legitimate anchor as the starting center in the NBA. I no longer feel that way. I think he's just a little too small. He's good, but maybe should slide down to the 4. Him improving his three-point range, can actually consistently shoot the 3 now, is going to go a long way for his ability to play alongside a traditional starting center, because I don't think he is one. But we'll see how he matches up against Carter Jr. here today. The starting lineups: McCollum, Alexander Walker, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, Onyeka Okongwu. For the Magic, we got Suggs, Bane, De Silva, Banchero, and Carter. TJ said no Dern and now Suggs 4 assists. All right. But that's going to wrap it up. And let's go ahead just in time. Let's get to the tip-off. Here we go. Here we go. And there we go. And Orlando wins the tip. Jaylen Suggs will bring it down. Banchero hands it off to De Silva. De Silva up top. Gets it over to Suggs. Suggs swings through to his right. Stops. Cross-court pass. A wild pass. Banchero over to recover it. Jab step. Left corner. Deep in the corner. He's going to shoot a step back long two. Not a great shot. Shot clock was winding down, but he just held on to it too long. Here comes Atlanta pushing it the other way. Crossover by Daniels. Has it in the paint. Kicks it out. McCollum catches. Pump fakes. Fly by the defense. Foul line floater for McCollum. He can't get it to go either. Rebound to Paulo Banchero. Banchero will bring it down. Banchero up top. Jalen Johnson backpedaling. He spins off of him. Down the lane. Gets caught. Flips it up at the rim. Doesn't get the foul call. Quick hit ahead from Johnson. Johnson tried to throw it over to Daniels, who was not expecting the ball, and the ball goes out of bounds. A bad pass from Johnson. Also, this is not the score. My bad, y'all. My bad. This is not the score. What are we doing? This is yesterday's score. Also, do that. We are also a minute in the game now, so let's do that. There we go. And reset this back to 1. There we go. Now we're set. Now we're set, y'all. Now we're set. Here comes Orlando. They get the ball back. Suggs has it up top, being guarded by Daniels. They get it over to Carter Jr. Back to Suggs. Suggs coming to his left. Has it on the left wing. Step back inside. Gets it over to Carter Jr. Hesitation, mid-range pull-up jumper over Okongwu. Got it to go. Sean Edits, what's up, Sean? Do you think the Magic need a point guard? I like Suggs a lot. Is Suggs a traditional point guard? Not necessarily, but I think Suggs gets the job done. I don't think they necessarily need a point guard. Alexander-Walker coming off a couple of screens, knocks down the right wing three for an answer. Now both teams have scored here tonight. Getting the lids off the basket early. Bane coming off a Carter Jr. handoff, gets it back out to Carter Jr. The straightaway three, he knocks it down. And this is huge for the Magic to get Carter Jr. going early here. Here comes Daniels pushing it the other way. Hands it off to Alexander-Walker. Pulls it out. Kicks it out to McCollum. Back to Alexander-Walker. Swings through to his right. He's been guarded by De Silva. Gets it over to McCollum. Baseline jumper. He's got the open space. Got it to go for C.J. McCollum. Tied at 5. Both teams going back and forth. Carter Jr. quickly trying to push it the other way. Or that's Banchero, excuse me. They swing it out to De Silva. Over to Suggs. Back to De Silva. De Silva back to Banchero. Banchero has it in the post. They bring a double team. He kicks it out. Suggs, the straightaway three. He's got space, but he can't knock it down. And now here comes Daniels off the rebound, pushing it the other way. Daniels has it up top, dancing with it. Coming to his right, crossing over to his left. Suggs giving him a ton of space, obviously daring him to shoot it. They get it over to Alexander-Walker, curling off the screen. Can't get it to go. Banchero with the rebound. He's pushing it the other way. They get over to Suggs on the right wing. Now over to Carter Jr. Back up top to Bane. Bane being guarded by McCollum. Pulls it up top. Coming to his left off the Carter Jr. screen, snaking it back to his right hand, driving all the way to the rim, scoop lay with the right hand, got it to go for Desmond Bane, his first basket of the night. Here comes Dyson Daniels quickly pushing it the other way. Euro steps down the lane, throws up the floater, got it to go for Dyson Daniels. Okay, these two teams running back and forth. The pace is quick to start. Suggs gets it up top to Carter Jr. Carter Jr. gets it over to Banchero, gets it over to Carter Jr., back to Banchero, who has it on the left wing. I'm going to confuse these two guys all night. De Silva, baseline jumper off the pass from Banchero. Can't get it to go. Here comes Johnson off the rebound. He has it up top. Coming to his left. Swings it out. Alexander-Walker catches. Pump fakes. Down the lane. Scoop lay with the right hand. Comes up short. Fight for the loose ball rebound. Alexander-Walker ends up with it. They kick it up top and McCollum wide open. Straight away three. In and out, can't get it to stay. Okongwu comes flying in, kicks it back out to McCollum. Now they swing it over to Alexander-Walker. Down the lane, in the paint, scoop lay with the right hand. Got it to go for Alexander-Walker, and he wanted a foul. He didn't get it, though. Here come the Magic, quickly pushing it the other way. Bane coming to his right, off the Carter Jr. screen, steps back, right corner three, fading out of bounds. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Daniels the rebound, tries to throw the hit-ahead pass to Johnson. It's a turnover as Bane got his hand in there. And now here comes Desmond Bane, bringing it down off that turnover. Bane coming to his left off the screen, pump fakes, gets it out to Carter Jr. They swing it out. Suggs, left wing three, wide open. Still can't get him to go on some open looks here for the Orlando Magic. Can't take advantage of their opportunities. Here comes Johnson off the rebound, in and out dribble, driving to his left, leans in, kicks it out. Alexander-Walker sets his feet in. He fires a right wing three, and he knocks down his second. And just like that, it's a 12-7 start for the Atlanta Hawks here. Under 8 to go. Suggs bringing it down. He has it up top. In and out dribble, swings through, down the lane, kicks it up top to Carter Jr. He hit a three earlier. He misses that one, though. Misses that one straight away. Here comes Jalen Johnson off the Okongwu rebound. Johnson up top, coming to his right, catches and pump fakes. Now they get it over to Alexander-Walker. Now back to Johnson. Johnson swings through, coming to his right, baseline pull-up jumper for Johnson. Got it to go over Bane. Knew he had the height and size advantage. And it's a 7-point lead for Atlanta to start. MBM, what's up, MBM? Chaos Kid, what's up, Chaos Kid? Suggs has it up top, being guarded by Daniels. Suggs coming to his left. They get it over to Banchero. Banchero being guarded by Daniels. Gets caught in the air, kicks it out to Suggs. Suggs, a decent look from three on the left wing for that one. He's now 0 for 3 from three-point range on pretty decent looks for all three of them. Daniels pushing it the other way, blows right past Wendell Carter Jr. and blows right past Banchero and draws the foul on Banchero. So Dyson Daniels is going to go to the foul line for 2 as we are under 7 minutes to go. We're going to get our first stoppage in play. We're going to get a timeout. And with that timeout, I got to go blow my nose. Hold on, y'all. All right, now we're good and ready to go. Ozahar, what's up, Ozahar? We want a good game. We want as good of a game as we can get. 7-14 start, not bad, not bad. Let's see what kind of answer the Orlando Magic have coming out of this timeout. Sean Edits, what's up, Sean? No one dug in Orlando in the first round. Franz is not back. Yeah, when is Franz expected back? Paul, if you're still in the chat, let us know. What's going on with Franz, man? What was the last update on Franz Wagner? Yer, what's up, Yer? I know he came back from the injury and played a couple of games, and then he went back out with the same injury, like kind of re-aggravated it a little bit. Bruce said they have Cooled off, but they couldn't keep that up forever. Still think they make it in. He's responded to Benzino. What are we talking about? Oh, Charlotte. Charlotte cooled off a little bit. I gotcha. Yeah. Yura said, you really stream my Hawks. We're rolling, man. I dream for times like this. 9-game winning streak, man. I got no choice but to respect it. 9-game winning streak. We got to respect it. Going up against the Orlando Magic with a 7-game winning streak, it's got to be the game of the night. It's got to be. Yura said, we're the hottest in the league. Yeah, got to respect the 9-game winning streak, man. That's not nothing. Even though you started in the 9th seed, went on a 9-game winning streak, and you ended up in the 9th seed still. Not moved up at all. But, all you can control is whether or not you win or lose the basketball games. And 36-31, over 500, 5 games over 500 is nice and impressive for the Atlanta Hawks, right? Kind of finding their way after the Trae Young deal went down. It's a complete organizational shift, moving on from your former franchise cornerstone to now build around your new franchise cornerstone in Jalen Johnson. Paul said, re-aggravated the same injury, no new information. That sucks, right? There's no timetables, the last I saw, Paul. Right? No timetable. I assume he'll be back for the playoff run, but I guess with a high ankle sprain, you can't really test it. It's just a weird situation to have an ankle sprain. And I know a high ankle sprain is a severe ankle sprain. I've had a high ankle sprain. It is tough. I was down 2.5 months. But I also wasn't and not a professional basketball player with, 24-hour round medical care that I could have, right? And I wasn't also getting professional treatment. I was just a kid in high school who had a high ankle sprain. It's just a weird situation. Weird situation because obviously the Magic need him. He's the best player on the Magic. Incredibly important. Yuri said, we're going to beat your Knicks in a 7-game series. You ain't making it to the Knicks, brother. I'll tell you that. Knicks will likely be the 3 seed, so unless you can jump up to 6, the Knicks are not the team you got to worry about, Yuri. You got to worry about them Boston Celtics if you make it there. And if not, the Detroit Pistons. So, no set timetable, Paul. That's rough. I hope he can come back for... when the heck did Buddy Hield join the Atlanta Hawks? That was another guy I forgot to mention. Jonathan Kuminga is on the Atlanta Hawks. So is Gabe Vincent, by the way. Gabe Vincent got traded to the Hawks for Luke Kennard. But, Ozar, the Bozar, I live in Georgia. Georgia, the state in America, or Georgia, the country? All right, here we go. Dyson Daniels did knock down both of those free throws. We're back into it. 6:45 to go. Got the wrong microphone. De Silva, down the lane, floater off glass, got it to go. Nice drive for Tristan De Silva there. Creating something out of nothing. His team needed somebody to knock down a shot or generate an open shot. Vincent has it up top. They get over to Jalen Johnson in the post. Johnson spins, goes along the baseline, floater, got it to go. Is he just... Oh, no, they call a travel on Johnson. I was about to say. Felt like he took a million steps to get to that spot, but they do wave it off. He was being guarded by Suggs. Oh, yeah. He stepped through with the travel there. For sure. Mo Gay's in the game for Atlanta now. Is Kuminga not available? I was kind of looking forward to watching Kuminga as well. Yura, what's going on with Kuminga? We checked the injury report. He was not on it. Wendell Carter Jr. on that Paulo Banchero down the lane. Gets fouled going to the basket. He's going to the foul line for 2. We are at 6:08 to go here in the first quarter. Yura say, I was going to say Josh Hart is going to shoot the Knicks out of the game. Just leave Hart open. We're good. You are clearly not familiar here with playoff Josh Hart. Playoff Josh Hart is going to be ready to go to line it up from three-point range, brother. I'll tell you that. Ozahar reminded people of the like button. Appreciate you, Ozahar. Every time, brother. Thank you for that. Sean said, Knicks have better things to worry about. I mean, it looks like the Knicks are going to be locked into the 3 seed. I don't think they're going to be able to jump to Celtics. Well, they have a game against Celtics, so maybe they will, but I'm more so locked in terms of keeping the 3 seed. And if they have the 3 seed, I don't want to play Orlando as the 6th seed in the first round, so I don't want to play Miami either. Johnson has it up top. Banchero split the free throws, 10-16, inside pass. Floater from Okongwu, can't get it to go. Rebound to Banchero. Here comes De Silva, pushing the other way. De Silva shovels it back to Banchero. He's got a full head of steam down the lane. Bump, Euro, kicks it over to Wendell Carter Jr., leans in, draws the foul, and gets the layup to go over Jalen Johnson. He's going to the foul line for one more. And cut it to a single possession game. Yer said he usually gets in later in the quarter if he ain't playing. If he isn't in by the 4-minute mark, he's dealing with the knee injury still. That sucks. I mean, we looked at the injury report earlier. As a matter of fact, I can show you right here. I mean, this is obviously just the ESPN injury report, so it's not the most accurate thing. But they got nothing to report. There's no data on Atlanta Hawks injuries. So hopefully we see him come to the game soon. I'm just surprised to see Mo Gay in the game before we saw Kuminga. Daniels gets it over to Johnson. Johnson coming to his right. Banchero Wendell Carter Jr. did knock down his and one free throw. Okongwu gets blocked in the paint. Daniels recovers the loose ball, and he knocks down a floater. Here comes Javon Carter, who's in the game, over to Carter Jr. Carter Jr. back inside the Carter. Javon Carter. We got Carter to Carter action. Javon Carter coming to his right, steps back for a three. Javon Carter, nothing but net. Like to see that. I like to see the confidence from Javon Carter. I've always been a Javon Carter fan. Dyson Daniels trying to respond the other way, draws a foul as he put his head down and attack the basket. He can't get the scoop layup to go, but he will go to the foul line for two. Paul said, I want to play the Cavs in the first round. My guy Paul is a Magic fan, so you want to see the Magic against the Cavs in the first round. That'd be a fun one. I'm thinking about how they match up. I haven't watched a Cavs Magic game this year, so I don't know how they match up entirely. But theoretically, yeah, I could see Cleveland struggling with the physicality that Atlanta plays with. And they have the perimeter defenders to slow down and frustrate James Harden, who, wilts away in the playoffs at times. And obviously guys to put on Donovan Mitchell to make it as difficult as possible. Dyson Daniels split the free throws. Here come the Magic. Banchero up top, dancing with it. Jock Landale is checked into the game. It's Landale, right? Yeah, Jock Landale is checked into the game. He cut the hair. Hard to recognize him. Banchero in the paint, tries to shovel it down low to Carter Jr. Carter Jr. picks it up, kicks it out to De Silva. De Silva stops, turns, spins, kicks it out to Javon Carter. Carter, step back, pump fake, fall away. He's got to throw it up at the buzzer, and he got it to go down. He just threw it up there, and his basketball prayers were answered. The basketball gods look down upon Javon Carter and smile. Jalen Johnson, mid-range pull-up jumper, got it to go, responds right back with a jumper of his own. 4:30 to go here into this first quarter. Carter hands it off to Banchero. Banchero up top, driving to his right, down the lane, blows past the defense, scoop layup with the right hand, doesn't get it, looking for a foul, he doesn't get that either. Here comes Johnson pushing the other way. It's a little bit of a 5-on-4 action inside the Landale. It's a bad pass from Johnson. Landale can't hold on to it. And Wendell Carter Jr. just rips it right out of Jock Landale's hands, and they call a foul on Landale. Paul said, I got beef with the Cavs? What's the beef with the Cavs, Paul? Let me know. Russell Garcia, what's up, Russell? Instead of Dyson gets a three-point shot, we might be real deadly? I mean, yeah, well, that's the thing. There's always some kind of major flaw in role players. And Dyson Daniels forgetting how to shoot the basketball almost entirely, shooting 13% from three this year. I don't have faith in him suddenly remembering how to shoot come playoff time. Javon Carter pump fakes down the lane, swings it out to Carter Jr. Wendell Carter Jr. left corner three, set his feet on fire, can't get it to go. Rebound to Alexander-Walker, quick outlet to Johnson. Johnson bringing it down, being guarded by De Silva, sees two defenders, pulls it back out. Now he looks like he's going to isolate, coming to his right, swings it up top to Mo Gay. Mo Gay coming to his left, hands it off to Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent back to Mo Gay, left corner three for him. Too strong, can't get it to go. Rebound to De Silva on the weak side, hit ahead to Javon Carter. Javon Carter, pump fakes on the left wing, he picked up his handle and kicks it out to Wendell Carter Jr. up top. Carter Jr. kicks it out to Banchero. Banchero dancing around the Carter Jr. screen, coming to his right, pulls it out with Landale switched on to him. Carter Jr. crosses over, down the lane, leans in, draws the foul. Can't get the floater to go, but he will go to the foul line for two free throws. 3:15 to go in this first quarter. Tay Cowboy said, I want to see Nickeil, OG, and Josh Hart have solid contributing games in the first round. I believe they will. The time will come. The time will come indeed. Bruce said, I don't hate the Hawks anymore. Not that Trey is there anymore. I guess I never hated Atlanta, just Trey. I didn't even really hate Trey. Obviously I hated him in that first round matchup 5 years ago at this point. But after that, I've been over it because he's been a non-factor since. Paul said, "Oh, LeBron, enough said, old rivalry." Got you, Paul. Yep, that makes sense. But I feel like, why would you have beef, Paul? I feel like you conquered that. You went to the finals. You beat Braun in the conference finals. I feel like you got the last laugh at the end of it. Right? Banchero split his free throws. It's 21-19. They get over to Londale up top. Londale hands it off to Gabe Vincent. Down low to Londale. Rolling to the rim. Londale gets the lefty layup to go. Yer said, would you take Dante back over Bridges? In a heartbeat, brother. In a heartbeat. Banchero down the lane. Tries to kick it to the corner. Vincent saw it all the way. Knocks it out of bounds. Tried to save it, but he couldn't. It'll stay here with Orlando, but we're going to get a timeout and a stoppage in time here. MBM said, Chevy is a free agent next year? I'll tell you what, I ain't going nowhere. And if I am, nobody's told me. So until somebody reaches out, I ain't going nowhere. Paul said, my hate never forgets. But you got the last laugh, Paul. You got the last laugh. As a matter of fact, was it? No, the Cavs lost to... Yeah, so the Magic made the finals in 2009 by beating LeBron and the Cavs in the conference finals. And then NBM said, pick up the phone. Brother, I've been waiting. I've been waiting. Where you at? Let me know. I'll sign the contract. Yeah, so Orlando makes the conference finals in 2009 by beating LeBron in what was supposed to be the Kobe-LeBron finals, right? So you played spoiler to the rest of the NBA world. But then Cleveland ends up losing to Boston in 2010, and that ultimately leads to LeBron leaving the Cavs. But I feel like you got the last laugh, no? I feel like you got the last laugh. But I get it. Old rivalries will never go away. They'll never go away. 2 years ago, when the Knicks finally matched up with the Indiana Pacers for the first time since the 90s, old wounds were indeed reopened. Paul said, then we got embarrassed by Kobe. Was it embarrassed, though? I feel like it was a decent series, at least. I don't think it was an embarrassment. And if there's anybody to be embarrassed by, it's Kobe's not a bad one. But I get it. I was about to say, when the Knicks finally played the Indiana Pacers for the first time since the Keenan Hara said, Franz is still out. Keenan Hara, unfortunately. Re-aggravated the injury, the high ankle sprain, and no timetable yet for his return, which is really disappointing. Paul said we won one game. All right, so maybe my memory's not so great. I thought it was a 6-game series. It was a 5-game series. I get you. But Kobe's not a bad one to go down to. I will say though, Paul, I got beef with the Magic that year, because you robbed the NBA of what could have been the passing of the torch series of LeBron and Kobe. And then we never got LeBron versus Kobe, man. We never got it. Joseph Taylor said, I hear someone talking about my Cavs. My guy Paul's got beef with the Cavs, Joseph. He got lifetime beef with the Cavs. Bruce said Paul is wounded and Chevy's bullying at this scab. I just wanted more information. Right? I just wanted more information. That's it. I want to hear the story. I wanted to hear the story. Keenan Hara said, hard to be embarrassed by Kobe or MJ. Those guys are the best. LeBron ain't in that circle. Kobe ain't in that circle love it either, brother. Kobe on the outside looking in as well. Javon Carter, right wing three, can't get it to go. Rebound, knocked out of bounds. They're going to give it to Atlanta. Atlanta arguing very hard that it should go the other way. So Atlanta will bring it down. Gabe Vincent has it up top. They get over to Alexander-Walker, curling off a screen, stops, turns, spins, kicks out to Lawndale. Lawndale will line up a three. They dare him to shoot it, and he makes them pay by knocking it down. Here comes Desmond Bane bringing it down. Over to Wagner, back to Bane. Bane swings through to his right, pulls it out, swings it out to Carter. Extra pass. Nope, pass fake. He's going to keep it. Has it up top, calling for a screen. He wants to get it to Mo Wagner to the post. Wagner's going to back him down, drop step, lefty, wild hook shot off glass. Can't get it to go. Looks like maybe it slipped out of his hand. It's going to stay here with the Magic. No, it's going to go to Atlanta. It's going to go to Atlanta. Who's that, Castleton? Who's in the game right now? Kuminga's in the game, by the way. Look at Jonathan Kuminga come in for the final 2 minutes of the first quarter. Where have you been, buddy? I just figured you weren't playing tonight. Where have you been? Risacher also in. Who is that in? Kane. Joshua Kane? Jonathan Kane? We're going to look up Kane in a minute. We got to get to know Kane. McCollum down the lane. Wild reverse layup. Can't get it to go. But Jock Lawndale right there for the tip up and in. And it's suddenly a 9-point lead for Atlanta. Bane bringing it down against Risacher. Pulls it out. Spins back to his right. Driving it down against Risacher. Bump Euro. Throws up the floater. Got it to go for Desmond Bane. Too big, too strong. Threw that shoulder right into Risacher. Moved them out of the way and knocked down the floater. Alexander-Walker over to Lawndale, over to Kuminga, over to Risacher. Risacher back to Kuminga. Kuminga has it on the left wing. Gets it to Lawndale. Lawndale be guarded by Kane. They get it out. Alexander-Walker relocating to the left wing. He knocks down the three, and he draws the foul on the closeout. And Alexander-Walker is going to go to the foul line for one more. He could make it a 4-point play. It's already a 10-point lead, though, here for Atlanta in this first quarter, exploding to end the quarter. Keenan Hart said, dissolve Washington. It's a foul on Mo Wagner, by the way. Keenan Hart said, dissolve Washington and New Orleans and redistribute the players. Or maybe just make them play their players so that they could actually be competitive in basketball games. Because they're not that bad of a team. They're not. They are just purposely losing basketball games, not playing their guys properly. Bane down the lane, scoop play with the right hand, looking for the foul. Doesn't get the layup, doesn't get the foul. Here comes Risacher off the rebound. Hit ahead to McCollum. McCollum dancing with it on the right wing. He's being guarded by Carter. Over to Lawndale. Lawndale coming to his right. Hands it off to Risacher. Risacher putting his head down, attacking. Stops, turns, spins, fall away midi. In and out, can't get it to stay. Bane with a good strong rebound. Hit ahead to Javon Carter. Javon Carter on the left wing. Ball knocked out of his hands. Mishandles it. Kuminga was poking at the ball. And the ball is going to go back to the Hawks. Bad turnover there. McCollum has it up top. Under 40 to go. Under 40 seconds. And a loose ball foul. And on Kane. Jamal Kane. Roger G. Wall said, hope the break wakes Nickeil up. They need something from Mikal Bridges, man. They need something. Literally anything. And that would be nice. Alexander Walker's at the foul line for 2 free throws because they are in the bonus, and he knocks down the first one. He's got another one coming. I forgot to give Alexander Walker the previous free throw for his 4-point play. Now he hits another free throw to give him 33. Yer said, I expected so much in him. What a waste of a number 1 pick. Well, Risacher, development is different for everybody. It's a different path for everybody. It's very rarely linear, right? So he could come out next season and have a breakout year, but it is a very disappointing year. You are very justified to be disappointed in Risacher this season. 3 for De Silva, straight away, can't get it to go. Alexander Walker, the rebound, they're going to push it the other way, and they should hold it for the final shot. And they are going to hold it for the final shot. Look like Alexander Walker is going to look to attack. He has it up top. There's about a second difference between game clock and shot clock. Alexander coming to his right. Swings it out to McCollum. Jab step, coming to his right, down the lane. Over to Alexander Walker. Relocation, right corner 3. Too strong, can't get it to go. Rebound to Wagner. Mo Wagner over to Bane. Bane's got time. He's going to walk his way to his spot. Pump fake, leans in, puts up the 3. Can't get it to go, and that would be the end of the first quarter. And a 13-point lead here for Atlanta over Orlando. Not looking great for Orlando to start, but it's only the first quarter. Poompe said also disband the Lakers is crazy. The second or third biggest market in the NBA? Crazy. I mean, not biggest market, but most popular. They might even be the most popular market. No, they're not the most popular market. They're just the most annoying. I think the Knicks are the most popular market. I mean, we go to arenas everywhere, and people are still chanting, "Let's go Knicks." Paul said, "I'm fine with getting rid of the Lakers, too." No teams are going. They're simply adding teams. And then one team will move over to the Eastern Conference. Probably Minnesota, it looks like. It looks like it's going to come down between Minnesota and, who was the other team? New Orleans, I believe? The Pelicans? No, Memphis. New Orleans and Minnesota and Memphis. It looks like it's going to come down to one of those teams. If expansion does happen, they're going to vote on it. If expansion does happen, it looks like either Minnesota or Memphis will move to the Eastern Conference, and then 2 Western Conference teams will be added. And the 2 likely teams added will be Vegas and, of course, Seattle, as it should be, as all things should be. And then finally, the basketball guys will be at peace because Seattle will get their team back. And I hope it's not a New Orleans situation, because if you guys don't know, the reason why the Utah Jazz are named the Jazz is because they were originally based in New Orleans, which makes sense because New Orleans is the birthplace of jazz. Or not the birthplace, but, you know, jazz is synonymous with New Orleans. And then when New Orleans team was sold and they moved up to Utah, they just kept the name, so they didn't have to come up with a new one. So it makes no sense because Utah has no connection with jazz music, but they remained the Utah Jazz. And when New Orleans did get a team back eventually, they couldn't retake Jazz. The Jazz did not want to give up the name again. And so they had to come up with a new name. And ultimately, New Orleans took the Hornets. They took the Hornets name because the Charlotte Hornets, at that point, had moved on to become the Pelicans. I know they changed their name to the Bobcats first. And then New Orleans became the Hornets. And then eventually, New Orleans became the Pelicans on a rebrand. And then Charlotte was like, well, can we get the Hornets back? And they were like, yeah, sure, you can have the Hornets back. So the names have been crazy in the NBA. Sean Edit said, bring back the Bobcats. Nothing good happened during that Bobcats era, I got to tell you. James Sumlin, what's up, James? Knicks fans here for support. Appreciate you, brother. Sons Jen said, just get both LA teams up out of here. Why are we mad at the Clippers, though? What did the Clippers do? They haven't done anything. Ken R said LA is a dang desert. You're not going to hear me argue. You're not going to hear me push back. Yours said Knicks are never going to win if Ant comes. Listen, if Ant comes to the East, he gets to play in Madison Square Garden, 2 or 3 times a year. Guess what? Not 3, but maybe. Come playoff time, we going to lure Anthony Edwards over to New York here. I'll tell you that. We're going to find a way to get Anthony Edwards in a New York Knicks jersey if they come over East. All right, here we go. Start of the second quarter. Let's get into it. Let's get some more basketball. Atlanta starts with the possession. Kuminga to the rim. Smokes a layup. Kuminga wanted the foul. Doesn't get it. Good contest from Noah Penda. Bane has it up top. Leaves it off for Suggs. Suggs pulls it all the way back out. Back over to Bane. Bane being guarded by Kuminga. Gets it over to Mo Wagner. Mo Wagner swings through to his right. Driving it down. Scoop play with the right hand. Got it to go for Big Mo. 34-23. 11-point game. Okay. If you're going to make this comeback, you're going to have to chip away at it. There's no 10-point shot in the NBA. McCollum mid-range jumper. Off the back rim. Can't get it to go. Mo Wagner the rebound. Here comes Desmond Bane. Bane on the right wing being guarded by Kispert. Crossing over to his right. Putting his head down. Attacking in the lane. They swing it around. Suggs the left wing 3. He's open and he continues to misfire on open shots. Jamal Cain the offensive rebound though. They kick it out. Mo Wagner the straightaway 3. Big Mo. Can't get it to go. Battle for the loose ball rebound and a loose ball foul on Atlanta. Trying to keep Jamal Cain off the glass. Look at Jamal Cain go. Sons Jen said Clippers cheat and sign Brad Beal. Did you want Brad Beal still, Sons Jen? I feel like they did you guys a favor. They get it into Jamal Cain. Kane gets it over to Wagner. Wagner driving it down in the lane, leans in, lefty layup, got it to go right through the chest of Lawndale right there. Mo Wagner getting it going a little bit. Here comes Daniels bringing it down, has it up top. Get over to Lawndale. Lawndale gets it over to McCollum, catches, pump fakes, back over to Daniels. Daniels in and out dribble, crosses over to his left, spins to his right, pump fake, steps through, spins again, and throws it away right to Suggs. And Suggs tries to blow right past McCollum, but can't keep a control of his own handle, and then Bane fouls McCollum. 10:30 to go in this second quarter. Roger G. Wall said, that picture you have on there of Bane has got to be Photoshopped. Unfortunately for Bane, it is not Photoshopped. Unfortunately for Bane, it is indeed not Photoshopped. McCollum lines up a left wing three, got it to go up the Lawndale pass, and is back up to 12. Bane has it up top. They get over to Wagner. Mo Wagner hands it off to Suggs. Suggs has had good looks from three and has just missed them. Suggs mishandles the ball again, but Wagner able to pick it up. Mo Wagner up top, being guarded by Lawndale, hands it off to Bane. Bane coming to his right, mid-range, pull-up jumper right over Lawndale, can't get it to go, well contested from Lawndale. Rebound over to Kuminga. Kuminga will bring it down. Jonathan Kuminga, show me something. They lob it over the top to Lawndale. It's not a great pass. Lawndale tips it back out, though. Great job from him to kick it out to Corey Kispert, a wide open three, and Corey Kispert knocks it down, nothing but net. And we're going to get a timeout from the Orlando Magic as a 15-point lead has a balloon here for the Atlanta Hawks, 40-25. Paul said California doesn't need two teams. They do not. They do not. But if there were two teams they were going to get rid of, I can tell you right now, it's not going to be the Los Angeles Lakers or the Los Angeles Clippers. They would move the Warriors. Actually, the Warriors are the most valuable team in the league right now. But I tell you, once Steph is gone, that team's value is going to tank because they are not a well-run organization at all right now. So they're not going to move the Lakers. And the Clippers just built a new arena, and they're owned by the richest owner in the NBA. So they're not going anywhere. They are not going anywhere. So the two teams that would move ultimately are the forever dysfunctional Sacramento Kings, and they would just move the Golden State Warriors somewhere close. Buzzy Beater said move the Kings to Vegas. I don't know what can help save the Kings. Here's the thing. Unfortunately, Sacramento, great fan base. Great fan base. And we never get to experience it because they're so poorly run that the fans just don't have an opportunity to show how great they are, right? They truly have a phenomenal fan base over there in Sacramento. But the ownership and the management of that team has been so bad. Nikki the dog, what's up, Nikki? Warriors are the most valuable franchise in sports. Not in sports, not even close in sports. There are other teams outside of the NBA, but yes, in basketball, the most valuable team. And also one of the best run. Yeah, that Kristaps Porzingis move was a genius move. They got a guy who can't even stay on the court. Traded Kuminga for nothing. Yeah, letting Klay Thompson leave for nothing. Super well run. The Warriors have not been well run in about a decade. All those draft picks they hit on, I mean, James Wiseman, what a great draft pick he was. Moses Moody, drafted him right over Franz Wagner. Oh, drafted Kuminga right over Franz Wagner. Oof. Nikki said, you're an idiot? Tell me the good move they made, Nikki. Prove me wrong. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What are the good moves the Warriors have made lately? Paul said Green is so overrated. Which Green? Draymond? I mean, at this point in his career, maybe, but still one of the greatest defenders, especially of his generation. Throw it in the chat, Nikki. Let me know. Maybe I don't know. What are the great moves the Warriors have made lately that make them a well-run front office? They've literally been saved by Steph Curry time and time again. And it wasn't even this front office that drafted them. It was like 16 years ago now, right? Bozzy Peter said, I've been to Sacramento. The fans and people are phenomenal. I really love being at that game. It's a phenomenal fan base. And unfortunately, they're perpetually dysfunctional. JP said Draymond Green is an MMA fighter. It worked earlier in his career. It's not working too much now, I'll tell you that. Suggs quickly pushing it the other way, gets the layup to go, and then it looks like he maybe stepped on someone's foot as he comes up limping a little bit. Well, that's one way to come out of the timeout. 9:35 to go. I'm still waiting for a response, Nicki. Hey, tell me the good move they've made lately. Literally, you can go back 5 years. Go back 10 years. You got KD. Throw KD in there. Suggs bringing it down to the rim. Righty layup. Got it to go for Jaylen Suggs. Back-to-back buckets for Jaylen Suggs. They need somebody to get hot here. Okay, it was a 15-point game. Suddenly back down to 11. There you go. 9 minutes to go in this second quarter. Orlando's not going to go quietly. Daniels driving it down. Stops, turns. Got nowhere to go. Kicks it out to McCollum. McCollum driving to his right. He's being guarded by Suggs. Steps back for a left wing three. McCollum can't get it to go. Rebound to Suggs. Here comes Jaylen Suggs. Suggs gets over to Wendell Carter Jr. Oh, the Banchero shot out of a cannon and gets fouled going to the rim. And I believe that's going to be 2 free throws. $8:48 to go. Bruce said that was the point I was making yesterday. There's no way they will be able to surround Curry with players necessary for another championship run, let alone a championship. He's too late in his career. The front office is not proven to be able to make good moves. Especially since Bob Myers left. You know? Especially since Bob Myers left. But I'm still waiting on Nicki. Nicki, give me literally, and it could be the smallest move ever, Nicki. Literally give me the one good move the Warriors have done lately. Could literally be anything. It could be anything. You could tell me they lowered the cost of hot dogs in the arena. I'll take it. Give me the one good thing that the Warriors front office has done lately. I'm waiting on it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I can't remember. I don't cover the Warriors like that. You let me know, Nicki. I'm waiting on it. Banchero did knock down both of his free throws. It's back to 9, back to single digits. Okongwu hits the floor, saves it out to Daniels. Gets it over to Johnson. Johnson in the right corner. Attacking along the baseline, leans in. Gets blocked by Banchero. But then Dyson Daniels comes in, gets the steal, saves it over to Johnson. Over to Kispert. A deep straightaway three for Kispert. Off the back rim. Long rebound over to Suggs. Suggs pushing it the other way. Suggs turn on the Jets a little bit, leaves it off for Banchero. Banchero spins right into Dyson Daniels. Extra pass from Suggs over to Mo Wagner. Mo Wagner can't get it to go. If you're Suggs here, you just got to take that shot, Suggs. You got to take that shot, Jaylen Suggs. Then get over to Kuminga. Kuminga hands it off to Johnson. Johnson gets it over to Kuminga. Kuminga on the right wing. Coming to his right. Dancing with it. On the right wing. Now coming to his left. Spins to his right. Pump fake, leans in. Gets the foul and the layup for Jonathan Kuminga. There's a nice sweet move for Kuminga. Yours said Warriors ticket sales went down. There you go. There's a good move. But I think Nicki left. I think she couldn't come up with anything. Got a little frustrated and left. I literally just asked the question. That's all I did. I mean, if I'm the idiot, I don't know. I usually got answers to questions. Even if I don't know, I'll say I don't know. That's an answer at least. You know, I said, what about drafting Trace Jackson Davis? Yeah, and then they traded him for nothing. Suggs, little bump Euro down the lane, knocks down the floater. And a timeout here. Suggs saying he got hit on the floater attempt as well. Jaylen Suggs, a couple of back-to-back baskets here. Clawing his team back into it, hanging around 9. Durston, what's up, Durston? Durston said, what is a hot dog price at an arena? Depends on the arena, man. Depends on the arena. But I'll tell you what, they too dang expensive in pretty much every arena, though. Sean edits said, Sacramento picking up Levine and DeRozan, knowing it didn't work on the Bulls. Somebody should be fired. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. They literally just recreated the Chicago Bulls in the West. They just recreated them. Right, with Sabonis in instead of Vucevic, which I guess is a slight upgrade, but not really. Slatnaz, what's up, Slat? Do you think the Celtics are going to beat the Suns? That game has tipped off already, hasn't it? Do I think the Celtics are going to beat the Suns? I do. No Dylan Brooks makes it a little more difficult for the Suns to be able to guard the Celtics here tonight, but I'm hoping. It's 20-13. The Suns leading. I like to see that, though. I like to see that. There you go, Suns Gen. Handle business for us tonight. Maybe we could get that 2 seed. Maybe we could. Blake West, what's up, Blake? Or Blake W's? What's up, Blake? Magic have won their last 3 games by 6, 5, and 4. Does this mean they will win by 3 today? I'm no numerologist, but the science seems good to me. Science seems good to me. Buzzer Beater said, are you in New York City? What's it like out there for Knicks fans? I'm not directly in New York City. I'm across the river, New Jersey. When was the last time I went to New York City? I've been so busy lately. Probably like a month or 2 ago. I'll tell you what, even in Jersey, most people in Jersey are and have always been Knicks fans, not necessarily Nets fans. Nobody's Nets fans. Nobody grows up a Nets fan. The people who grow up Nets fans aren't really basketball fans. They're just like, oh, there's a New Jersey team. I'll support them. But if you're a basketball fan, even if you live in New Jersey, you grow up a Knicks fan. So there's that. I'll tell you what, every time I wear Knicks gear outside, people are like, hey, the Knicks. And I'm like, hey, yes, sir. Right? There's always some kind of acknowledgement between Knicks fans. If you see somebody wearing anything Knicks, a hoodie, a hat, a shirt, or whatever, it's always like, hey, the Knicks, hey, how they doing good, right? Next one, they're going to win the next one, right? There's always something like that. Always something like that. You know, I said, I didn't know you're in West New York or maybe Jersey City. Not in Jersey City, not in West New York. I am in New Jersey, and that's as specific as I will get. I grew up in Jersey City, though. Grew up in Jersey City. You ever said Magic not winning? It's not looking great, but I tell you what, it's also not looking great that Atlanta can't build the lead any further than around 10 right now. Hanging around 10 is not really where you want to be if you're Atlanta. Gianni? What's up, Gianni? Go Orlando Magics? Here we go. Bruce said, because we recognize our suffering, it's like being a member of AA. Thanks for sharing. Buzzerbeat to remind people to like button and subscribe. Appreciate you, Buzzerbeat. Appreciate you. All right, here we go. We're checking back in. Johnson has it up top, being guarded by Banchero. Leans into him, gets caught in the air, kicks it out to Alexander-Walker at the last second. Pump fakes, driving it down, kicks it in the corner. Kuminga, pump fakes, driving it down, step back, baseline jumper for Jonathan Kuminga. Halfway down, but it rolls out. But battle for the rebound, and it's going to stay here with Atlanta. 7:25 to go. Bruce said somewhere along the line, the Warriors were done with Durant and one of their own Splash Brothers. Pay Curry, pay Draymond. Who's crying now? Yeah. I'll tell you what. They had that one special championship in 22. And, whatever happened after that, it is what it is. They got 4 rings out of the Steph Curry era. And I think that's just beautiful. That's beautiful. Jalen Johnson down the lane draws the foul on Paulo Banchero going to his left, and he's going to go to the foul line for 2. It's crazy. These two forwards playing against each other, matched up against each other, it's like looking in a mirror for these two guys. They're so similar. Jay Hammer said 22 is worth it. I think if you ask Warriors fans, I think 22 might have been the sweetest one. Thinking that maybe the run is over, maybe the magic is over, and then to come back in 22 and find a way to pull it off. Pretty special. Keener said, yeah, they tried for the 5th. No crime in that, but they haven't made good moves lately, including drafting. Yeah, I mean, they got Jimmy Butler at a time where not a lot of people wanted Jimmy Butler. Warriors ended up with Jimmy Butler. They went for it. They took a swing with Porzingis. Butler goes down with the injury. Porzingis can't even get on the court. They tried. They tried, and now everybody is too old to really fully compete. I don't think Curry's that guy anymore. Banchero misses the pull-up mid-range shot. Bane able to draw the fouls. He's attacking the glass on the offensive side. Jay Hammer said karma from Poole since then. Maybe a little bit. 6:55 to go. We are approaching the halfway point here in the second quarter. They get it in the Banchero, who has it up top. Swings it over to Carter Jr. Carter Jr. hands it off to Jett Howard. Jett Howard back to Carter Jr. rolling to the rim. And he can't hold on to it. Slips out of his hands. And here comes Atlanta. Atlanta already holding on to an 11-point lead right now. Forgot to give Atlanta the previous basket. Banchero knocked down both of his free throws. Johnson knocked down both of his free throws. Daniels gets it over to Kuminga. Kuminga hands it off to Alexander-Walker. Alexander-Walker, the pull-up straightaway 3, comes up short. Rebound to Banchero. Banchero pushing it the other way. Banchero picked up by Johnson, putting his head down. Euro steps down the lane, double clutches in the air, and draws the foul. I feel like you could do that every single time down the court. Going to the foul line for 2 free throws. Daniel Dash. What's up, Daniel Dash? Keenar said Porzingis was dumb. I was okay with trying with Butler. Yeah, the Porzingis one made no sense to me. Even if you were looking to just trade Kuminga, I don't think the value that Porzingis has around the league is just worth it. I would have rather trade Kuminga for draft assets and then tried to flip the draft assets this offseason for something. But now that Butler is injured, Curry's going to be 38 next season. Obviously, they're not doing anything this year. Draymond another year older. It feels over. The runs feel over. Paulo Banchero knocks down both of his free throws. 6:30 to go. Atlanta bringing it down. Johnson up top being guarded by Banchero. I like that the two guys are guarding each other. Johnson and Banchero have been matched up all night long. De Silva switched on to Johnson. They swing it out. Alexander-Walker, right wing 3. Can't get it to go. Long rebound. Alexander-Walker able to chase it down over Banchero. Driving it down to the rim. Wild lefty layup. Can't get it to go. But a foul on Banchero. And I believe that's going to be his 3rd foul. Either his 2nd or his 3rd foul. Banchero with only 6 points. He's 0 for 4 from the field. He has yet to make a shot. And that's a problem. It's a pretty big problem. Alexander-Walker to the foul line here. Johnson with 2 fouls as well. He's 2 for 4 from the floor. 6 points, 5 boards, and an assist. Banchero, 6.7 boards, and an assist. It's like look in the mirror with these two guys. Alexander-Walker knocks down the first one. He's got another one coming. E. Gibson, what's up, E? We might have to face one of these teams in the first round. Maybe. It's looking more likely that it's going to end up being Orlando, because Orlando might get the 6th seed, and with the Knicks being the 3 seed, that's obviously who the first round matchup would be. But if the Knicks do find a way to jump up into 2, they might have to face a team like Atlanta come play in. Banchero has it up top, dancing with it. 6 minutes to go. We are now past the halfway point of this second quarter. Banchero bullying his way to the basket against Kuminga. Pump fake leans in, and ultimately a foul is called. Banchero just forcing the hand of the official there. Just way too much contact and physicality against Kuminga there. Papa Dog, what's up, Papa Dog? When the Carter needs rebounds, Banchero's been gobbling them all up. Yer said, we're getting the 6th seed? Orlando? I'm trying to remember who you were a fan of, Yer. Orlando's getting the 6th seed? Or Atlanta? Are you an Atlanta fan? Hawks, Knicks, Hawks in 6. The Hawks are not getting the 6th seed, brother. We'll look at the standings at halftime. Very unlikely the Hawks get the 6th seed. But we'll go through it. Maybe there is a chance. Johnson has it up top. Gets caught in the air. Almost throws it away. Daniels able to recover it. Down the lane. Swings it out to Kuminga. Extra pass. Alexander-Walker right corner 3. And Alexander-Walker gets it to go down. Banchero did knock down both of his free throws. 49-37. Banchero down the lane. Leaves it off. And Tristan De Silva, lefty finger roll layup. It was halfway down, but a toilet bowls out. And Kuminga blows past the defense and draws the foul in transition there on De Silva as he could not get back fast enough. And Kuminga will go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Alexander-Walker up to 19 first half points, by the way, guys. My goodness, he's hooping. Kuminga knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. And Alexander-Walker knocks down the next free throws. Why is my score off? They say it's 51-37. Okay. What did I miss? Did they change a 2 to a 3 previously? Did I not hit the correct button? Either way, 51-37. It's a 14-point game. Alexander-Walker comes up with a steal. A bad pass from Javon Carter. Here comes Dyson Daniels pushing it the other way. Stops. Shovels it out to Okongwu. Okongwu been very quiet tonight. Now over to Johnson. Johnson being guarded by De Silva. Coming to his left. Back inside to Okongwu. Okongwu down the lane. Leans in. Puts up the floater with the right hand. Got it to go over Wendell Carter Jr. And a timeout here for Orlando. They are now down by 16. The largest lead of the game for Orlando. For Atlanta. Atlanta leading. Orlando struggling to keep up. I mean, 37 points with 5 minutes to go in the second is not a good look for Orlando right now. Blake, what's up, Blake? The Magic medical staff is Delulu. I don't know if they're delusional or if players just keep getting hurt. Sometimes you just get the injury bug, man. Sometimes you just get the injury bug. Bruce Fowler said, not a Julius Randle fan at all. I was sick to my stomach every time Tibbs had him bring the ball up the court. I was never a fan of Randle's game. Sheffield preaches his talent, but to me, he's Harnstein. I appreciate Randle for everything he brought to the Knicks for sure. Yeah, that's fair to say. I've been very adamant. I don't miss Randle. I don't miss having to watch Randle on a nightly basis. I mean, just go ahead and tune into some Timberwolves fans and how they have been talking about Julius Randle lately. Like, I don't miss that. I don't miss that at all. But I did not hate the way he played down the stretch, like the last year or two or so, since Brunson came over, right? And then after they made the Anunoby trade, obviously everybody remembers the January Knicks. People make allusions to the January Knicks that season all the time. I just think it's a shame he couldn't really finish out his Knicks tenure healthy, right? The last game he played was that game. The last game he played was that game against the Miami Heat, where Jaime Jaquez slides under him and he separates his shoulder. And that's it. That's it. He can never get healthy, misses the playoff run, and gets traded in the offseason for Towns. You said Randle did nothing for the Knicks? Randle was a huge part of the turnaround for the Knicks, brother. Signs there in 2019 in the disaster that was that offseason, where they put all their chips on the table to sign Durant and Kyrie Irving. Neither of them obviously come. They go to rival Brooklyn. And Randle is the best player to sign with the Knicks in that offseason. He has a terrible first season with them. They signed Tom Thibodeau the next offseason, and then he becomes the most improved player and makes second-team All-NBA. That's not nothing, brother. He helped the turnaround. The Knicks don't get to where they are right now without Julius Randle. Bane missed Wendell Carter Jr. missed the layup on the other end. A three for, who is that, Okongwu. Can't get it to go. Banchero chases down the rebound. Over to Bane. Bane bringing it down, hands it off to Carter Jr. Now over to Banchero. Banchero up top, stops, pops. They leave him wide open from three, daring him to shoot it. He obliges and he knocks him down, making him pay, and it's back to 13. 53-40. Daniels gets it over to Johnson. Johnson up top being guarded by Banchero. Carter Jr. now switched on to him. Johnson over to Daniels. Daniels hands it off to Alexander-Walker. Alexander-Walker, a beautiful bounce pass to the slipping Dyson Daniels, and he gets the easy scoop layup to go out of it. 55-40. Under 4 to go. Jaylen Suggs hands it off to Silva. Off the catch. Knocks down the right wing three up the handoff from Jaylen Suggs there. Johnson lobs it down low to Alexander-Walker. And a goaltend by Jaylen Suggs, a silly play from Suggs as he grabbed the rim on what maybe could have been a clean block. I don't know. Bruce said Randle was one of those signings that made others take a second look at the Knicks. I'll give him that. Chevy's correct. He was the start of the turnaround when we couldn't give our money away. Yeah, he was the start. You know, I give him props for that, for coming to New York and making it work. He made it work. It was ugly. It was ugly a lot of the time, but he made it work. He made second-team All-NBA twice wearing a Knicks uniform. Banchero down the lane, leaves it off of Wendell Carter Jr., gets the foul, can't get the layup. He's going to go to the foul line for 2. 3:25 to go. E. Gibson said he was, before last year and this year, he's been messed up by injury. Randle? He's top 15 to 20? We talking about Randle here? Julius Randle? I don't think he's 15 to 20. I think he's outside the top 20. There's too many good players in the NBA right now. He's around 20. He's around 20. I mean, we could quibble. He might be 15 to 20. Closer to 20, but he might be there. But I think we could quibble about that. It's a debate. It's a debate. If we're talking about Randle. Blake said he's been incredibly inconsistent. I do know Timberwolves fans have been talking about him lately, about his lack of effort, especially defensively. The shot is not going down as well. He did just have a good game against the Thunder in a losing effort, but yeah. Again, I don't miss those days of questioning, like, is Julius Randle want to play basketball right now? I don't miss those days. CJ McCollum throws the ball away. 57-45. I'm doing a bad job keeping up with the game, y'all. We're just talking about too much basketball. And they call a travel on Carter Jr. Ball is going to go back to Atlanta here. Whoever said Randall's top 15 to 20, y'all drunk? Stop it, bro. He's around there. On his best days, he's, around 20. On his worst days, he is like around 50. So where does that average him out to? Maybe around 25-ish, but, 25 to 30-ish. But again, on his best days, you can make the argument he's top 20. He's made second team All-NBA twice in his career. That's not nothing. Rebound for De Silva comes up short. McCollum tries to save him from going out of bounds. He can't. Ball's going to go back to, or stay here with Atlanta. Yours said Chevy, stop it. Again, Randall's really good. But he does drive you crazy with some of the effort stuff. Suggs gets it down low to Banchero. Banchero in the paint, leans in, kicks it out. Suggs, extra pass Bane, wide open left wing three. Almost halfway down, he rattles it in and out. Home run pass to Okongwu, kicks out to McCollum in transition to three, comes up wide left. McCollum with the loose ball rebound in the paint, leaves it off to Jalen Johnson, who takes off and throws down a one-handed hammer. And the lead up to 14. Suggs pushing it the other way. Crowd up on their feet. Suggs, cross-court pass to Bane, catches, lands, fires, and Suggs responds with a tough corner three fading out of bounds. And it's back to 11. Every time it feels like Atlanta's going to start building momentum, the Magic knock down a momentum-stopping shot. Johnson, in and out, can't get the three to go. That would have been a momentum-gaining shot right there. Here comes Bane pushing it the other way, trying to gain some momentum after stopping the momentum. Banchero has it up top, being guarded by Okongwu. Banchero kicks it out to De Silva in the corner. Pump fakes. Spins off the defender. Inside pass to Suggs. Suggs under the basket. Pump fake. Pump fake. Goes up. Gets blocked by Johnson. Rebound to Daniels. Daniels shot out of a cannon. Bringing it down the other way. Now he's going to pull it out. Picks up his handle. Leaves it off Okongwu with a straightaway three. Okongwu splashes it. Nothing but net. Getting those 3 points right back. Bruce said even on the road, Orlando is disappointing. Banchero is supposed to be the new face of the NBA. At least in the conversation. Bane to the basket, draws the foul, doesn't get the layup to go. Atlanta not happy with the foul call, but he is going to get 2 free throws out of it. Blake said Paolo is top 10. Derek White is top 20. Here's the thing. If we want to talk about impact, unfortunately, Derek White goes above Paulo Banchero. Now we're going to get a challenge. The Atlanta players were very emphatic that they did not think it was a foul on the Desmond Bane drive. And the coaching staff, I think, is going to trust them. Some of the assistants got to watch the replay. And they're just going to use their challenge here. I respect it. They did not show a replay of it, so I don't know. I can't say. K. Hayes said the defense on both sides looks crazy. I think the defense has been really solid. I think what it really is, both teams playing really hard right now. Again, 9-game winning streak for Atlanta, 7-game winning streak for Orlando. Both teams obviously trying to do their best to battle their way out of the play-in. But Orlando right now out of the play-in. They're 38-28. They're now 10 games over 500. They're missing their best player in Franz Wagner. Paolo doing as good of a job as he can to keep this team above water right now, but he is 1 for 6 from the field tonight. All of his points coming from the foul line. Yours said Hawks easily beat the Magic in a 7-game series 4-1. Are the Magic fully healthy? Do we get to just assume that the Magic get Franz back fully healthy? Because that changes the dynamic of the matchups a ton. Charles Austin, what's up, Charles? Why do I have a feeling that I'd rather want the Knicks to face the Raptors in the first round than the Hawks, Magic, or Heat? Because the Knicks have dominated the Raptors all season long, Austin. Or Charles, my bad. Because the Knicks have dominated the Toronto Raptors all season long, Charles. You know. You said best player, Franz Wagner? Yes, without a doubt, Franz Wagner is Orlando's best player. And I don't even think it's particularly close anymore. It was close maybe going back to last year. This year, when Franz was playing, it was very clear that Franz was the best player in the Orlando Magic. Roger G. Wall said, don't want the Heat. They play dirty, man. I'd rather play Miami than Orlando, I'll tell you that. The call is overturned to a no call. It's a successful challenge. No foul. And it's out of bounds off of, I believe, Desmond Bane here. And the ball's going to go back to Atlanta. Kay Hazy said Franz would have at least 15 right now. Franz is just very clearly the better player on this team right now. It's hard to talk about it anymore other than he's hurt, and it's hard to discuss it until he gets back on the court. Alexander-Walker gets it over to McCollum, and the Orlando Magic are resorting to a 2-3 zone here. Johnson up top, coming to his left, has it at the foul line, kicks it out to Alexander-Walker. He's just going to fire the three over Suggs, and he's going to knock it down. And it is 48-65. A 17-point lead is opened up here for Atlanta, the largest lead of the game. Suggs gets it over to Carter Jr., Wendell Carter Jr., directing some traffic, coming to his left, gets it over to Banchero in the post, being guarded by Johnson, spins off of him, layup, can't get it to go, but Wendell Carter Jr. comes flying in with a two-handed putback slam. Did not see that coming. Here comes Johnson on the right wing. Johnson dancing with it, loses the handle, picks it up, kicks it out to Okongwu. Okongwu, pass fake, hits over to Johnson, cutting back door, puts up the floater, gets the friendly bounce off the back of the rim for Jalen Johnson there. 27.5 to go. Suggs walking it down the other way. Suggs has it up top. He's being guarded by Daniels. Suggs gets it over to Carter Jr. Carter Jr. gets it over to De Silva. De Silva catches, pump fakes, pulls it out, dancing with it. I don't know if De Silva step back left wing three is the shot you want at the buzzer. He doesn't get it. Okongwu with the rebound. Over to Alexander-Walker. Alexander-Walker gets it off in time at the buzzer. Can't bank it in, and that will be the end of the first half. And Alexander-Walker ends the first half with 24 points. He's on his way to what maybe could be a 50 ball, but we'll see if the game is even set up in that way, because he may not have to play a lot of the second half here, or even most of the second half, or most of the fourth quarter, if Atlanta continues to run away with the game the way that they are right now. My goodness. Share Bear, what's up, Share Bear? Sean said, I do not like Orlando's supporting cast. I'm with you, Sean. That is a tough supporting cast between De Silva, a lot of their bench guys. No Jace Richardson tonight. He's not getting an opportunity. We saw only a couple of spot minutes there from Jett Howard. He did not really get a ton of opportunity. Blake said, what a way for the Magic to lose their streak. Yeah, to the streaking Atlanta Hawks. All right, here we go. Just like every single time, we got the pregame, we got the halftime rundown, y'all. So as we go into the halftime here, always want to give a shout out to our guys over at Get Off My Lawn Records. Appreciate the guys over at Get Off My Lawn Records for sponsoring the halftime show here tonight. Their band, the Jazz Destroyers. You can go ahead and check them out on YouTube at both Get Off My Lawn Records and at the Jazz Destroyers. Both of those have YouTube channels. You could also go to getoffmylawnrecords.com if you are so musically inclined that you would like to reach out to them. They produce albums themselves in-house, so reach out to them if you want to inquire about that. But you can also sign up for their mailing list so you can be notified whenever they either themselves drop an album or any of their artists in their record label drop an album as well. They were also gracious enough to give us a discount code to go to bandcamp.com and use promo code Sheffy to get 20% off store-wide. All right, let's start by going around the league. checking out what's going around in the NBA right now. What do we got? Obviously, we know we got our Hawks Magic coverage here tonight. But Warriors are taking on the Wizards. It's a 7-point lead at halftime here. Warriors over the Wizards. We have the Blazers taking on the Nets. 37-26. We know Brooklyn is bad. We have the Suns taking on the Celtics. And unfortunately, after an early lead for Phoenix, it looks like Boston has battled back to take an 8-point lead. Let's check this one out. Let's go ahead and go into the box score of this one and just real quick scroll through it. You got Royce O'Neal, also Iguodala, so no Mark Williams, unfortunately. Devin Booker, Gillespie, and Jalen Green are in the lineup, though. Got to get Booker back out there. He's the only one in the positive. Everyone else in the negative. Looks like Boston has just went on their run, started the second quarter here. Suns Gen said Derek White just hit 3 threes in a row. That'll do it to you. That'll do it to you. That'll give you the 8-point lead. He's 4 for 5 from three-point range. All of his shots coming from 3, as you can see here for Derek White. Nimi Keita is playing. No Mark Williams to match up with Nimi Keita is rough. Tatum, 2 for 5 from the field. He's hit a 3. Brown, 1 for 5 from the field. He's 0 for 1 from 3. But he's got 10 free throws in the first quarter? All right. All right, so no more crying from Jaylen Brown. He's got his free throws tonight. Off the bench, Garza, Pritchard, and Shireman have hit a 3. Off the bench for the Suns here, no one has scored but Grayson Allen, who's knocked down 2 threes. Suns Gen, what are you thinking about Kaman Maluak? I've seen he's getting some minutes here down the stretch of the season. What are we thinking about Maluak? Number 10 overall pick. Got potential, not impressed. What are we thinking? What are we looking at? I have yet to see him play. Keenar said Boston's going to be an 18-wheeler in the playoffs. I'm no joke scared of them. I'm good. I'm good on the Celtics. Bring him on. Bring him on. I think the Knicks got him. Suns Gen said he's blocking like crazy. That's what I like to see. I was a big fan of Kaman Maluak in his draft class last year. I was a big Maluak fan in the draft. I was kind of disappointed to see him go to the Suns because the Suns have like a good center rotation between Mark Williams, Iguodala. They had Nick Richards, who I thought was good. Apparently he's not very good. And then they added Maluak to it. So I was like, I don't know about that, but happy to see him get minutes. Happy to see him blocks everything. Because that's what I was hoping he would do in the NBA. He had 5 blocks in a quarter the other night. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Maluak, I love to hear that. Love to hear that. All right. Well, it's a 5-point game. Suns right back into it. We'll check in on this game sporadically as the night goes on, because obviously it's beneficial for our Knicks if the Celtics lose. Jay Hammer said, who drafted Maluak? The Phoenix Suns. And he was kind of buried on the bench behind the plethora of centers that they have. Will probably continue to be buried on the bench when Mark Williams comes back from whatever injury he has. Their full center rotation seems to be Mark Williams and Iguodala as his backup. But Maluak they have back there that I like. But considering they're probably going to make the playoffs, I don't know if he's the guy you want to lean on come playoff time. We have Grizzlies Bulls. Battle of the bottom over here. That's tight. That's in a tight one early in halfway through the first quarter now. Mavericks Pelicans 23-13, 10-point game. 5 minutes to go in the first. Keenan Harris said, Suns made a good move for Mark Williams. Yeah, I always like Mark Williams too. I was surprised when the Lakers balked at the trade when they got his medicals. Like, I get it. But clearly, he's capable of playing basketball. I don't know why they didn't just take that deal and take Mark Williams on their team. He's significantly better than DeAndre Ayton, in my estimation. Jay Ames said, y'all know what I mean. I know what you mean, brother. I know what what you're getting at, Maluak. Sean Edip said, was Taco Fall too slow for the NBA? Taco Fall just ultimately was not a very good basketball player. He was just very tall. He was, you could say he was too slow for the NBA, sure. But he also wasn't very skilled. Again, he was just really tall. He wasn't very skilled. Our late night games, we have the Lakers-Rockets. The Lakers have been soaring lately, 42-25. 41-25 for the Rockets. My goodness. And then the Lakers are the 3 seed now, technically. And then the late game, we got the Spurs taking on the Clippers. This is also an NBC game. How do we have NBC Extra? We got so many NBC Peacock games going on tonight. Keenar said, all the Suns fans will tell you how much better Williams is than the Andre PlayStation. The Andre PlayStation is crazy. Yeah, I was surprised they balked at the opportunity of getting Mark Williams on their team. Mark Williams is a really good center. To pair him with Luka Doncic would have been crazy. Off the rip, you get Luka, and then you get to pair him with a really good young rim-running center. I get it. The injuries were scary. But you don't just not get him. You find a way to get him. You find a way to keep him, I should say, because they did get him. And then they rescinded the trade. Paul said, then again, him being very tall also got him paid a couple million. Yeah, I mean, he made it. He made it to the NBA. He got his opportunity. Again, I don't think he ever truly loved basketball, or maybe even, I don't even think maybe he even really liked it. But he was so tall, was put into it, was clearly taller than everybody and decent at it enough where he can go to college for free on a scholarship and then make a couple million in the NBA. And who knows how much he made playing basketball in other leagues around the world, right? So, and people know his name. People know his name, Taco Fall. So he made it. Kenar said, kind of like Bol. Yeah, Bol very clearly doesn't have any real interest in playing basketball. I think he was kind of put into it as a kid because of his father, obviously the legacy of Manute Bol. And then he grew to be really tall, and he was good and skilled at basketball. But you could tell, and I think he would tell you now in his career, yeah, I mean, basketball is fine and cool, but it's not a love and a passion that I have in my life. He's now into fashion and does modeling and stuff. So that's something he's passionate about. If we could swap heights, I'd appreciate that though, Bo. Because I truly love this basketball stuff. But I did not grow to be 7'2", or however tall he is. Eric C. said nobody knows Manute Bol's age. I think Manute Bol might know Manute Bol's age. Paul said, just like Bronny, I think Bronny loves basketball, though. I think Bronny really loves this. Foong Pei said he fashions and models for one client. One client? Sean said he plays overseas for a Chinese team. Taco or Bol? Bol is playing for the Philippines. It does pay, If somebody were to come to me and be like, hey, man, we'll give you, $1.2 million to come play in the Philippines, I'd be like, let's do it. I think Bol was 7'3"-ish. Even more. Listen, I'll take 6'5". I would have made the NBA if I made it to 6'5". No, I wouldn't. But you know what I mean. Ahmed, what's up, Ahmed? Taco plays in the Australian League. Yeah, he's still going around. I mean, you might as well. There comes a certain point where you no longer are, physically capable of playing in these professional leagues for presumably millions of dollars or whatever. Right? There comes a point, so you might as well take advantage of it now, and then you have the rest of your life. Then you have the rest of your life to do the things you're truly passionate about. Take advantage of it now. Make as much money as possible. Sean said Jabari Parker was actually good. I was a huge Jabari Parker truther, man. I would have taken Jabari Parker over Andrew Wiggins in that 2014 draft. I'll tell you that right now. The only reason Jabari Parker did not make it in the NBA to what he should have been were the injuries. Held him back. Injuries held him back. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody. Eric C. said he was brought here under a fake birthday series. He doesn't even know? Maybe he does know, brother. Maybe he does know. Either way, we'll never know. Paul said, living overseas, making $1 million a year, not a bad life. Yeah, might as well take advantage of the opportunity you have right now, even if you're not passionate about it, right? A job is a job, and they're going to pay you $1 million to do a job you don't particularly love, but maybe it's fine, you like it, you've been doing it a long time, you're decent at it. Okay, cool. I'll do that for a year or two, maybe even 3 or 4 or 5 years. I'll make my money and then retire from playing basketball at the age of whatever, 32 years old, and then guess what? You got the rest of your life ahead of you, and you made a couple million and you got to save in the bank, hopefully. Sean said OJ Mayo got kicked out of the league averaging 18 points per game. Was he averaging 18 when by the time he got, by the way, he wasn't kicked out of the league. He was suspended for 2 years. But I don't think it was averaging 18 when he got suspended. I think it was significantly less than that. Durston said JaVale McGee played for the Australian League this year too. Jason Tatum's dad is the coach. I didn't know. Justin Tatum? Jason Tatum? I assume that's Jason Tatum. I didn't know that. I didn't know JaVale McGee was playing for the Australian League. JaVale McGee is one of those guys that truly loves this basketball stuff. He's going to play as long as humanly possible for himself. Keenar said, what was OJ suspended for? Drugs. Apparently some pretty hardcore drugs. Something. Some not great drugs. I think people thought initially it was weed. I don't believe it was weed. I believe it was something harder than that. I will leave it at that. I don't know what it was, so I'm not going to insinuate what it was. But apparently it was Funke said some not great drugs. Some not great drugs. Something you shouldn't do. Paul said, I heard it was booger sugar. I heard it was that as well, but I can't confirm. I did not see that it was definitely that. So again, I don't want to say it was definitely that, but I heard also that it was possibly that as well. MJ Speaks said something white. It might have been something white. Eric C said, make a couple of million doing something I don't like. Yeah, I get paid less to do stuff I don't like. Very true, Eric, very true. So many people get paid to do things they don't like. You know, I said, the old Michael Ray Richardson. Unfortunately, yeah. Sons Jen says, stick to the good drugs. Stick to the legal drugs. Stick to the drugs your business allows you to do. And on your own time. Don't do it while you're working. Right? Stay safe out there. All right, we are not going over this halftime at all. It is a 17-point lead by the Atlanta Hawks right now. They put up 67 points in that first half. Paulo Banchero being 1 for 7 from the field is not going to get it done, I'll tell you that. And the one shot he did make was 3. So he's got to knock down some shots. I don't know how else to phrase that. Desmond Bane's a minus 17. That's not a good look. 7 points, 2 boards, 2 assists for Desmond Bane here tonight. Not getting a ton of production off the bench. Carter with 5 points. Mo Wagner with 4. A total of 4 for 8 between the two of them. As far as the Atlanta Hawks go, everybody's kind of hooping outside of Mo Gay and Zaccharie Risacher. But Kuminga with 4. Kispert hit a 3. Jock Londale scored 7. Gabe Vincent has yet to score either. But Alexander-Walker with 24 first half points. Like, maybe guard that guy. Maybe guard that guy. Ronald McPaul with the Bron. Here we go. Start of the third quarter. Got 24 minutes of basketball left here. Can the Orlando Magic crawl their way back out of this funk? They are deep into trouble here if they can't get this back to 10 points by the fourth quarter. Dyson Daniels fakes the handoff, now gets it over to Alexander-Walker, attacking to his left, one-legged floater, high floater, misses everything, hits the backboard. Suggs throws a home run pass to nobody. A terrible pass by Jaylen Suggs. Let me blow my nose before we start the second half. Here we go. A 3 by Jalen Johnson. And just like that, the lead is 20. And a steal by Alexander-Walker. And a layup by Alexander-Walker. And it's 22. 72-50. Not looking good for Orlando. This was supposed to be a good game, y'all. Suggs has it up top, coming to his right. Gets it down low to Banchero. Banchero tries to draw the foul. He just throws it off the backboard. Nothing called. Thankfully, Wendell Carter Jr. recovers the ball. De Silva, pass fake, kicks it up top. Wide open straightaway three for Desmond Bane. They need it, and they got it. There you go, Desmond Bane. CJ McCollum just bringing it down the court, blowing past the defense before Orlando gets set. Orlando not doing a good job of getting back on defense at all. And McCollum gets fouled going to the rim. He's going to go to the foul line for 2. What are we doing? What are we doing? Orlando not looking good, not looking locked in. A lot of slumped shoulders, head hanging low for Orlando right now. Not the sign of a team. Not a sign of a team that's looking to make a comeback here tonight. Free throw goes down for McCollum. He's got another one cup. Eric, she said, I was just talking about that white and then left camera to blow his nose. Yeah, not great timing. Not great timing on that one, I will say. I will admit. Not great timing on my part. But I refuse to blow my nose on camera. It's gross. Banchero has it up top. Attacking to his right, spins to his left, down the lane, draws the foul. He's going to the foul line for 2. I respect Paulo Banchero kind of eliminating those hezzy pull-up mid-range shots out of his game, but maybe every now and again go to it. I mean, you're 1 for 7 from the field, brother. I know you're getting yourself to the foul line here, and that's great, and that's awesome. You can keep doing that, but my goodness. Yuri said, remember when people tried to clown us for getting CJ? Now joke's on you. I think it was more so trading your franchise cornerstone player for CJ McCollum feels like very anticlimactic. I think that was more so what the jokes were. McCollum knocked down both free throws, by the way. So it's 74 as Banchero knocks down the first one to 54. Just as said, Suggs 0 for 4. Know that feeling recently. As Banchero misses the second free throw. Yeah, Suggs is too important to this team. He does not look healthy out there. He does not look like he's playing with the energy required for Orlando to get it going. He is extremely important to this team, and without him, even though he's out there, they're kind of playing without him. As Okongwu comes flying in and throws down a two-handed putback slam. Without him, they just don't really have other like, it's a lot of Banchero or nothing right now. Suggs driving it down, stops, turns, spins. You know, when they were getting back into the game earlier, a lot of it had to do with the fact that Suggs scored 3 straight baskets driving to the rim. De Silva spins to the lane and draws the foul. He's going to the foul line for 2. Yuri said, CJ, not better than Trey. And I'm not going to lie, but I know he was going to be big for us. Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's an upgrade over Trey in the sense that Trey was not playing because he was injured majority of the year. And Atlanta doesn't have to fundamentally change the way they play basketball when CJ McCollum's out there. He just complements everybody. Whereas Trae Young, you had to change the way you play basketball when Trae Young was out there. He just fits the team better overall. Paul said the Magic defense tonight is putrid. Yeah, they haven't taken anything away from the Hawks. They haven't taken a single thing away, right? Like if Johnson wants to drive to the rim, he could drive to the rim, and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But Orlando's not taking anything away that they want to do. When Alexander-Walker scores 24 first-half points, we can't call your defense good. Banchero does knock down both of his free throws. We're under 10 to go in this third. Okongwu has it up top, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson crosses over to his right, down the lane, gets all the way to the rim for the easy layup on a Gortat screen from Okongwu there, giving Jalen Johnson an open lane to the basket. Suggs dancing with it up top, pass fake, gets it over to Carter Jr., back out to Suggs. Suggs coming to his left, pulls it out, gets it over to De Silva, swings over to Banchero, jab step, down the lane, in the paint, lefty layup. Can't get the lefty layup to go. Battle for the loose ball. Johnson knocks it away. Alexander-Walker picks it up. He shot out of a cannon. He kicks it up top to Johnson. Extra pass to Okongwu. Okongwu the straightaway 3. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Fight for the loose ball. Daniel saves it. Okongwu keeps it. Down the lane, puts up the floater, got it to go. And up by 22 points. And Atlanta is out hustling Orlando. I said it earlier, a lot of slumped shoulders and hung heads. And Orlando does not look like a team that is trying to make this comeback or believes that they can make this comeback or can even believe that they can get back into this one and make it somewhat competitive, even if you don't make the full comeback. Real K Bishop said, can Jalen get the triple-double? Probably not. Not going to lie. I mean, he's got 15, 6, and 4, so I guess it's possible, but I don't see him playing a whole lot in the second half, in the fourth quarter. Suns Jen said, Devin Booker just scored 13 in a row. Suns down 4 at half. That's not a good sign. I'll tell you that. But shout out Devin Booker. Kay Hazy said, this should have been a way better matchup. I mean, the Magic just won 7 in a row. What happened? What happened tonight? They just run out of gas? Should have been a way better matchup. Here's the thing. The other option for the matchups tonight, and we should have just stuck with it. We should have just went to the other matchup. The other matchup that I thought about possibly doing was Suns Celtics, and it's 61-65 at halftime. It's a high-scoring game. Both teams going back and forth. Suns Gen just let us know Devin Booker's going off. Suns Gen said, you have so much Suns negativity. No, it's just that when your best player goes on a stretch like that, I didn't expect you to end the sentence with Suns down by 4. You know? If Devin Booker's going to go off like that, I expected you to be like, and the Suns took a 5-point lead at halftime. But I just didn't expect that. That's not a good sign if your star is going off like that. Let's look at the box score. And the last time we checked, Tatum nor Brown were playing well. Or shooting well, at least. Maybe they were playing well, but not shooting well. Devin Booker, 19 points, 7 for 11 from the field. He's a +2. Green's a -7. I mean, it's a 4-point game. It's not like you're out of it. But that's not a great sign. Not a great sign. Henry Robinson, what's up, Henry? Vic said you could always switch games. The problem, Vic, is the title of the stream. So everything would be mislabeled. I can go in and change the title. Also, though, the thing that I don't have set up, I'd have to change all the player graphics. I'd have to change the score bug. And I don't have a Suns Celtics score bug. Right? So whenever we do one of these unique matchups that we haven't done before, I have to make a new score bug. And that's not the most difficult thing in the world. But ultimately, to switch all of this, to switch over to a different game, is just too much, unfortunately. Suns Gen, it's been an entertaining game so far. Could change, though. It could change, though. I hope not. I hope it continues to be an entertaining game. Henry Robinson, appreciate you, Henry. Becomes a member. Thank you for your generosity, brother. Hope you're having a good time here tonight. Keno Hara, Jamar Bouye? Bouye. That's how you say it. Bouye. Jamar Bouye. Shout out Jamar Bouye. Is he playing today? He's not playing today. Has not entered the game. DNPCD for our guy Jamar Bouye. Green with 15 points, though. He is going through his March Madness. Eric C said a book club, if need be, then finish off with that game after. I mean, we will, depending on what it's like going into the fourth quarter, I like to try and give these teams a chance to make the comeback. But if no comeback is going to happen, we will end the night early. We will end the night early. They get over to Carter Jr. in the paint, stops, turns, flips it up to the right hook, can't get it to go. That's not a good sign for Orlando, coming out and missing the shot right away. Johnson inside to Okongwu. Okongwu gets blocked by the rim, but that's because he's fouled by Bane. He's going to go to the foul line for 2. I will say, if you guys want to start book club, I've been reading Game of Thrones. I'm about 150 pages in. I don't know what chapter it is because it's not numbered chapters. So the way the story is told, if you guys have watched Game of Thrones, you probably don't know this, but the way the book is written, the chapters are written through character perspectives. As Okongwu knocks down his first free throw, he's got another one coming. Right, so one chapter will be by Eddard, right, told through the perspective of Ned Stark. Then the next chapter is told by Catelyn Stark. Then the next chapter is told by Jon Stark. Then the next chapter is told by Tyrion Lannister. And then the next one is told by Arya. And then the next one is told by Bran. You know, so it moves quickly. It's fun to read. Obviously, the story's great. I'm having a blast reading it. Literally, I can't remember the last time I couldn't wait to get home to read the book. To read a book, you know? Like, I can't wait tonight. I can't wait. I don't have to wake up early. I'm reading, 5 or 6 chapters tonight. We're getting into it. Alexander Walker, right corner 3, he got it to go. All right, this might be an early night, y'all. Alexander-Walker knocks down the three. Okongwu also knocked down the other free throw. It is now a 29-point lead. And 29 points for Alexander-Walker. Banchero misses the step-back three, and this is getting ugly. This is getting ugly. Bernard Johnson said, how are you doing? Hit the like button. Appreciate you, Bernard. Appreciate you. Alexander-Walker's dancing with it down the lane. Gets blocked by Suggs. And Suggs picks up the loose ball. Suggs then gets fouled by Dyson Daniels. We got 7:45 to go. Keenar said, the Game of Thrones books series is freaking fantastic. The big problem, of course, is that he never finished the story. Yes, I do know this. I do know. He never finished. I never saw the show, only read the books. So what I did, Kinahara, is because I have a lot of people in my life when Game of Thrones was on who were like, watch Game of Thrones. And just from the outside looking in, I was like, that's not really a fantasy setting that I ever really vibed with, is like the medieval setting, kind of like that. Dragons, it's never really been my kind of thing that I've been into. So I passed on it. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'll get to it eventually, but nah, I'm good. Bane did knock down a jump shot there. But so when I started reading the book, I was just looking for a book to read, and I was like, you know what? Let's give Game of Thrones a chance. I saw it. I actually got the full series of obviously what's available. It's not done. I got the full series at the thrift store. I think it's 5 books. All 5 books were sitting on the shelf at the thrift store. So I got them all for like $15 total. All 5 books. So, deal. Deal. Jay Hammer said, I tried reading Facebook and YouTube comments. Dang, brother. you gotta expand your reading. You gotta read more. It is Orlando knocked down a 3, and then it is 90-61. We're not getting any closer. But a putback tip by Winter Carden Union. We could talk about book club. Eric, he said Iliad and the Odyssey were great. I'm going back many years though. Hey man, I got you. You think, brother? You think that where is it? Where is it? Where's my Odyssey? Where's my Iliad? Well, I got both of them. I can tell you that. Oh, here they are. I don't know where the Iliad is. I don't know where that one is. Ugh. But I do got this guy. We do got the Odyssey, and we will be reading the Odyssey eventually. I did get the Odyssey mostly because I wanted to go back and reread it before the movie comes out. But we got it. We got the Odyssey. Like I got it, brother. You think I don't got it? I got it. I got the Odyssey. I also got the Iliad. It's somewhere in there. This is the whole bookshelf. As you can see, the closet door is open. This is the closet door. You can see it. But I got it. And we will be reading that eventually. But I'm locked in. I'm locked in right now with Game of Thrones. I'm locked in. We got all of them. Obviously, the other book is by my bed. When I go to sleep, I read a little bit. But we're locked in the Game of Thrones right now. We got them. We got them all. We got them all. Joseph said, you should have did Suns Celtics. That's what I was saying. I knew this game was going to be a blowout. I was hoping it wasn't. Also, we have not covered the Hawks. We've covered the Celtics very recently. We've covered the Suns in the past pretty recently. We haven't covered a Hawks game, and we haven't covered a Magic game in a while. And both of these teams on long winning streaks, I wanted to see what's the hype. And right now, the only hype I'm seeing is from Atlanta. Atlanta playing extremely well. They're about to win 10 in a row after tonight. Bane knocks down a step back 3. It is now 68-92. 24. They got it down to 24. I'll give the Magic a chance if they can get back into this one. Cleon Latson? What's up, Cleon? I need Tristan 2 more rebounds. Dinar said, nice, Chevy's a literary man. Basically, the Odyssey. I can't pronounce that, brother. I mean, I've always been into books, but I have other hobbies that are prioritized in the past and just kind of fell out of rhythm of reading. And once you fall out of rhythm of reading, it's hard to get back into it. But, you know, like I love to read, but I also love to read comics. So that could take time up. And then I could also be like, well, I'm reading, but it's a comic, right? So it's different. It's a different reading. It's a different story. It's a different way of going through a story, but I also love video games. I also love watching basketball. I also love movies and television. So trying to find time for all hobbies, like what am I doing tonight? Do I read a book or do I watch this TV show that I've been putting off? You know, like I still haven't watched The Sopranos. I still haven't watched The Wire. I still haven't watched Lost. I still haven't, like there's so many TV shows, legendary TV shows, and I'm like, I should probably watch that at some point in my life. And I just haven't, right? And there's so many books I want to read and reread, but I just haven't had the time. There's so many video games that I want to go play, and I just haven't had the time, right? There's always a good sports game on, and it's like, how do you divide the little free time that you have? I said, I admit I fell out of reading too with all the Netflix and YouTube content. Yeah, and then I also like to sit down and watch some YouTube video. Like there's YouTubers I follow that I just want to sit down and watch the 45-minute YouTube video that they put out, you know? I said, I binged Sopranos in 04, never saw Breaking Bad. I have seen Breaking Bad. That was one that was coming out when I was in high school. So that was, obviously my buddies in high school were watching it, and so we ended up like watching it together as the finale was coming on. So that was easy to get into. But now that I'm like, here's why I finally got back into reading, and here's how. So doing these games, I'm talking for 3 hours straight. And so my adrenaline is built, my blood is rushing, and I'm ready to go. I go run through a brick wall right now. Like let's go run the marathon. I'm ready to go. I'm live, I'm awake. It's been a long day, right? I was at work all day. I came home, showered, ate, hopped on stream. And I'm ready to go. Unfortunately, the game is not allowing me to exert any energy here, because it's been a blowout. But after it ends, and I shut it all down, and I clean the room up, and I pull the curtain back, and I put my pajamas back on, how do I go to sleep? And this was an issue I've been having the last 2 or 3 years. How do I go to sleep? My blood is pumping. I'm ready to go. I'm feeling good. I don't want to watch a television show because then I'll just stay up all night watching television. I need something to calm me down. And that's when I was like, dude, get back into reading. Read every night. Even if it's a chapter, even if it's 10, 15, 20 pages, no matter what it is. It'll calm you down. You get to experience the story. And, it's very easy for me to go to sleep now. Very easy. And so that's how I got back into reading. But honestly, with all the Game of Thrones books that I have to go through now, I've put everything to the back burner. Everything to the back burner. No, I haven't picked up any new TV shows, haven't watched any new movies, haven't played any new video games. It's been nothing but reading Game of Thrones and probably for the foreseeable future, it'll be nothing but reading Game of Thrones until we're fully caught up. Benzino said, reading helped me quit cigarettes. Nice. Henry Robinson said, frags feed the mind. Yeah, that was also another thing that reading books has helped is it makes you obviously a better reader, but it also makes you a better speaker. And that's definitely something that doing what I'm doing every night, I've seen it help. Like in myself, I've seen it help almost directly one-to-one, where the more I've been reading, the better I feel like I am at articulating myself. Kinar said, I stayed up all night reading Song of Fire and Ice. Well, eventually, it calms you down reading it. I will say, though, Kinar, yeah, there are nights where I'm definitely I want to read one more chapter, but I have to go to bed. But it's a calming thing, reading, is my point, and it calms me down. And so even though I'm excited and I want to stay up and read, I want to read the next chapter, I'm calm enough where it's like, okay, you know what? I can put the book down. I read 2 chapters tonight. Cool, right? The story progressed, feeling good about myself. I could put the book down. I could watch some of the YouTube content and fall asleep to that. And then I'll feel good. And I can get to bed on time. Eric C said, you're great at this, so keep on doing this. I always enjoy when you share books, media, music, games, and your community is always a fun time. I appreciate this channel. Appreciate you, Eric. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for hanging out with us. Vic, what's up, Vic? It is 94-69. Banchero's at the foul line for 2. It is a 24-point lead for Atlanta. Tell you what, if this is under 20 going into the fourth, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. Johnson down the lane. Knocks down the floater, though. They can't stop Johnson. Sean edits said, will it help me stop smoking ganja? Maybe. You're going to have to put in the effort, though. I'll tell you that. You're going to have to put in the effort. Right? You're going to need to want to quit and also substitute the addiction with, if it is an addiction, substitute it with something else. And reading should help. Reading should help that. Henry said the imagination is dying. Reading creates your own interpretation through personal perspective. It does. Oh, I was also going to tell you, because my guy Keenan Hara said he hasn't watched the show. So what I did is I read about 50 pages, and I was really curious as to how it was adapted, because my first love is probably television, right? I love shows, more so than I love movies. I love shows and how they adapt things, or how things are filmed and how they tell a long-form story that way. So I was just interested. I was only about 50 pages in, and I was like, all right, I'll watch it until I don't know what's going on anymore, and then obviously I'll cut it off. And so 50 pages was about 30 minutes of the first episode. So I watched it, and while it was a really, really great adaptation, almost one-to-one, the book is so much better. The book is so much more descriptive. They hang on scenes significantly longer. You know what because each chapter is told through different perspectives, you know what a character thinks of the other character. So even when you switch the perspective, it's like, oh yeah, but I know that, how John feels about his dad, Ned, and how Ned feels about John, and how different their perspectives may be in that relationship. Whereas as in a show, you just kind of have to interpret it the way the actors are portraying it. It's just, the book is obviously better, but the show I was really impressed with. I have not seen past that, I will say. Keenan Hara said, well, if you want vocab, read some Italo Calvino. His translator used so many words I never heard of, and I was already a vocab hound. I'll definitely, hold on, let me write it down. Johnson knocks down a 3, by the way. All right, well, it looks like we're going to be out. We are not going to stick around for a fourth quarter blowout here. Let me write it down. My guy Keenan Hara, he's putting me on game right now. One thing I also want to get back to is writing things down. Do you know what I was going to do is buy a dictionary. And then Risacher throws down a slam, and it's back to 26. It's back to 26. Italo Calvino. What I was going to do is I was going to buy a dictionary, and then every time I, needed to look up a word or anything, I was going to highlight it in the dictionary and put a sticky note and fill up the dictionary. Literally do it the old school way. Because the funny thing was, I thought what I could do is probably download a dictionary app and kind of essentially do that. And it'll save in the dictionary app the words that I'm looking up and saving as the words I had to look up. And then it'll always be on my phone. And I go back and scroll through it and be like, oh yeah, that word. Oh yeah, that word. Oh yeah, that word. And kind of eventually incorporate them into my vocabulary and expand my vernacular and all of it. And I downloaded the dictionary app, literally Merriam-Webster dictionary app, and you have to pay for it. And it's the free version sucks, and you have to pay for like a premium subscription version to get full access to the dictionary. And I'm like, what is this? Another subscription service for a dictionary app? Where are we at in society where you need to pay a subscription membership to a dictionary app? So I thought like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. It'll be saved in my phone. And then, I always have my phone on me, and I can, maybe I got a couple minutes to me. I'm waiting for somebody to come out and meet me or whatever the case may be. And I can just scroll through it. Maybe I'm sitting on the toilet and I'm just going to go scroll through the words I've looked up this past week. Crazy. Foong Pei said, can't you just Google it? Them words and stuff. I could just Google it, and I do. But the problem is that they're not saved. And so every now and again, you just forget. Right? The words you've looked up. And so you see that word again, you're like, oh, I remember that word, but I don't necessarily remember what it means. So I thought it would be cool to have it saved somehow on your phone, right? So the only way I guess I could do that is if I wrote it in like the notes app and I had like a dictionary notes. But I was so dumbfounded and annoyed at the fact that there was a subscription service to the dictionary app that I put my phone down. I stopped looking it up. Like, I stopped looking up dictionary apps. And I was like, I'll just buy a physical dictionary and then have that by my reading chair. And then I'll highlight them and put the sticky note in. I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. I was so annoyed. I was so annoyed. Keno R said, I had a really awesome website for obscure and obsolete words. I would have to go to my computer to find it. That sounds cool, but I don't really want to hang on a website. Like, I want it saved on my phone in some kind of app or something. I don't want to have to go to a website, which is cool, which is great. But, like, you would have to go to your computer. I want it on me, right? If I have my phone on me all the time, I want my phone to be something other than just social media and ESPN, to check scores. Like, that's pretty much all my phone is. It's like that, texting, and social media, right? ESPN, texting, social media. That's all my phone is right now. And it's just, Keno R is a serious word nerd. I mean, I'm not, but I do appreciate, like, finding a new word and trying to incorporate it into daily conversation. It just, I don't know, feels good. It makes life not so, I don't want to say stagnant, but not so boring. I don't know, switches things up a little bit. Bruce Fowler said, as a younger gentleman, I'm surprised you don't want the usefulness of an app. I want the app. I want an app, but I want it to be useful. The Merriam-Webster dictionary app is useless. It's completely useless. It is terrible. It is a terrible app. I don't recommend it. And I was so upset by it, I wasn't going to check out any other apps available. I was so upset. I was like, what do you mean? There's a subscription service to the Merriam-Webster dictionary app. That's so dumb. So dumb. Clifton Bostic, what's up, Clifton? What's the score? It's been 6:04 left. Oh, it's a blowout, brother. It's a blowout. It is 102-75. It's a 27-point game. We're going to go to the end of the third quarter, and we're going to wrap it up there. We're going to wrap it up, unfortunately. 3 quarters tonight. That's what we got. Rose Pierce said, I could recommend what Chevy said. Buy a dictionary. I'd even add a lexicon, too. Reading Game of Thrones, it doesn't happen super often where, like, I come across a word that I don't know. But, when it does happen, I'd like to highlight it. I'd like to document it in some way without, like, putting the book down and then opening up my phone because it's very easy to get distracted on the phone. But 75-102, by the way. And we have 1:53 to go. Bane does knock down the layup. Antoine Johnson said Magic could come back. They could. It's a 25-point game. I'll tell you what. If it's in the teens going into the fourth quarter, I'll give them a chance. We'll hang around. Daniel said, you actually need a thesaurus? I mean, you can have both. Isn't a thesaurus just for synonyms? Mo Wagner knocks down to 3. It's 22. Okay, Orlando, give me a reason. Give me a reason, brother. Yeah, I thought a thesaurus was just for synonyms. I don't necessarily need synonyms. I need definitions of words that I don't know. Poor showing from Orlando. They might get banned. Not yet. They're just not a priority. I thought this was going to be a great game. 9-game winning streak versus a 7-game winning streak, and it's not close. Eric C said, best thing I did was a vernacular calendar, and every day tear away a new word and implement them, and I keep the ones I couldn't remember. That's a good way. Bruce Fowler said, kudos to you, sir. The triple header was a blast. Sunday was fun. Sundays have been fun. I think we've done triple headers 4 Sundays in a row now. And we're going to try to keep the trend going. As long as they're good games. You know, as long as like good matchups. I mean, as long as we have good matchups, we're gonna keep hitting up the triple headers as much as we can. It is 103 to 80 now, 40 seconds to go in this quarter. Kuminga's in the game. He's going to put up the jumper. He's going to miss it. Rose Pierre said, man, this channel's comm looks like it's not full of illiterates for a change. And I appreciate that. I love the community we've built, man. I love it. I really do. Right? I've talked to some people, and they're like, dude, if you want to, build your community as big as possible, like, you should also be streaming on, Facebook, and you should be streaming on Twitter, and you should be streaming on Twitch, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, the problem is that obviously I'm not going to be able to keep track of all the different chats going on if we're streaming on all these other platforms. And even if I centralize the chats into one streaming thing, because you could do that on like StreamerBot, but even if I do that, it's like, do I really want the Facebook community hanging out with us? Not the greatest community over there on Facebook, not the greatest community. Dinner Dash said only on 109 in chat. Yeah, it is what it is. It's not the greatest game in the world. As we're in the third quarter, people tuning out. I get it, fully get it. Listen, brother, we used to stream back in the day to like 5 people, so 100 is still a lot to me. Javon Carter knocks down a step-back jumper. It is 104 to 80. It's the end of the quarter. Keenor said English stole massive amounts of words from other languages. That's why it's so rich. Yep. Pretty much every word has like a specific origin, doesn't it, Keenor? I mean, you're the word nerd. You tell me, but pretty sure every word has like a specific origin, whether it's back to Latin or has Spanish roots. Rose Pierce said, most streamer comms are more like a book. What's that? We want to make sure we are a smart community over here, and we are a learned community. It don't gotta just be books. We could talk about TV shows. We could talk about video games. Daniel Dash said Facebook is scammers, and I like 109 because it's more like a close-knit family. Yeah, I mean, when we do streams and we have, 600 people in here, like, that's awesome. Yeah, number go up, make me feel good for sure. But it is definitely harder to keep track of chat. Keenar said, sure, but some of it does come from old High German Anglo-Saxon, usually short words like cow or pig. Huh. Cool. Rose Pierce said, we smart, we cool. Intelligence is cool. Reading is cool. Literacy is cool. Even if it's media literacy, right? Like, even if you're not a huge book person, okay, that's cool. That's fine. But, make sure also if you're just watching things, make sure you're also understanding the things you're watching. Even if it's fantasy. Right? Even if you're watching like Harry Potter, make sure you're understanding the subtext of what's going on in Harry Potter, even though I know the writer, not the greatest, but Daniel Dash said people saying you're ignoring them. Yeah, when we have a big chat and people are like, hey man, you're ignoring me. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I try to read every chat as they come along, but all right, so they do knock down the free throw. It's a 21-point game. We'll see how they come out to start this fourth quarter. I'll give them a chance. 21-point comeback's not the most impossible thing in the world. We'll give them a chance. Bruce said, member of this chat, know of this chat, know how much you love basketball. Sounds like to me Facebook and other streams might take some fun away from you. And be more like work. I value the community more so than I value the number going up. You know what I mean? When people come in and they're rude or, like we had somebody in the chat earlier. I forget who, Nikki in the chat earlier, who was like, didn't like what I said about the Warriors not being a very well-run organization. And she was like, hey, man, you're dumb. I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, oh, okay. Give me an example of something they've done well. Maybe I don't know. And she left. Okay, cool. We don't need Nicki in the community if that's the way you're gonna interact. Maybe I am dumb. I gave you the chance to prove me dumb, to prove that I am dumb, and you didn't. And you just said you're dumb and you're stupid, and then you left. And it's like, oh, okay. I didn't need Nicki in the community then, right? So if number went down because Nicki left, then number goes down. That's fine. I'm fine with that. And then we got all these bots in the chat. Fung Pei said there might have been a spam robot. Maybe, but I don't think it was. Kinahar said, I lost a friend over teasing him about the Warriors too. A lot of Warriors fans, and there's no offense to the diehard Warriors fans, but a lot of Warriors fans were new age Warriors fans who became Warriors fans during the Steph Curry era because they became a dynasty, right? It was very, very similar to the new age Lakers fans back in the day when they three-peated with Shaq and Kobe. Like, if that's when you became a Lakers fan, you're not really a Lakers fan, right? Like, I'm a diehard Knicks fan because I became a Knicks fan in like 2007 when they were absolutely horrendous. And then I remained a Knicks fan up until 2020 when they started to turn things around. So, Henry Robinson said, exactly. Kinar said, no, this guy was an old pre-Steph Warriors fan, but he was just as thin-skinned. Some people can be thin-skinned about their team. I tell you what, as a Knicks fan, thickest skin possible. Literally, I grew up with my favorite team being a clown show already. So I can take it. Sons Jen said, you have a recurring troll who hasn't really shown their hand, but you should probably block. Who is that? Who's that? Where you at, Quan? YWA Quan? What's up, Quan? Where Silva, he's going to ruin my parlay? Who is Silva? Tristan De Silva? We'll see if he plays you in this fourth quarter. We'll see. It is a blowout. Probably will, right? Probably will. A younger guy they want to give minutes to. Charles said, if the Knicks win the title this year, then the new age bandwagon Knicks fans will be created. I think New York is sufficiently hated enough by teams outside of the market that I don't know if that'll happen. Maybe it will. Maybe it will, but Bruce Fowler said, we joke, we laugh, we poke fun, but nobody here are rude or disrespectful. I watch people like Sons Jen, MBM, Joseph, and I said, I can get with this. I appreciate you guys for it. Sometimes I can get prickly. I know that. But, I am at times having like 100 different conversations at once. And then maybe I get a little too prickly, but it's a 20-point game, by the way. Can you get it any closer? Keenhar said, I'm an old Giants fan, Norwood wide right. Daniels throws up a wild floater. Ball's going to go back to the Magic. All right, it's 20. 10:50 to go. What you got for me, Orlando? What you got for me? Improbable comeback? Bane loses it, and the ball's going to go back to Atlanta. All right. Tay Cowboy said the refs hate our existence. The Knicks? I mean, they definitely hate Karl-Anthony Towns' existence, say that. And Brunson's too. Brunson's free throw rate has gone way down this season. Bruce Fowler said the refs and Harnstein trigger you. The refs, not so much. I think I do a pretty good job of not blaming the refs for anything. But Hartenstein definitely can get to me. Don't get me on my Hartenstein rants, man. I'll forever hate that guy. He blew up the core of the team. Right? He blew up. The reason Dante DiVincenzo is no longer a Knick is because of Isaiah Hartenstein. The reason why the Knicks had the trade for Karl Anthony Towns is because of Isaiah Hartenstein. I just, imagine the Knicks kept Hartenstein and then traded for Giannis. Would have been Randall. They already traded the picks for Bridges. But I tend to think that they made the Bridges trade because they lost Hartenstein and they knew they were going to make the Towns trade. In order to make the Towns trade, they knew they were going to lose DiVincenzo. So it's all connected back to Hartenstein. Cleon, Latson, 2 more boards where the start is at. Paolo's back in, Suggs back in, Mo Wagner's in, Carter, and Jett Howard. You got Paolo and Suggs. Still 20-point game, 10 minutes to go. Kongu can't knock down the floater. They're giving you a chance here, Orlando. They're giving you a chance. Kenar said, oh man, stop. We would have traded Randall for Giannis if we still had iHeart. Yeah, that's what I mean. We would have traded Randall for Giannis, but we didn't have the picks. I think is my point. They already made the Bridges trade. But I think they made the Bridges trade because they knew they were going to make the Towns trade and they were going to lose Debo. So if they don't do all of that and they just bring back the same team, and then they said, well, our big whale, we're going to continue to be really solid, and our big whale is Giannis. Then we would have had Giannis, Hartenstein, Brunson as the core, Anunoby. Maybe Anunoby still stays. Hopefully Anunoby still stays. Anunoby, DiVincenzo. Like, tell me that team's not winning a championship. They said they've got to cut into this lead by the 5-minute mark. Yeah, we got 9:20 to go. Wagner an open 3. Wagner misses another open 3. Rebound right back out to Javon Carter, and he knocks down the 3. There you go. It's 17. Timeout for Quinn Snyder. 9:14 to go. Okay. What you got? What you got for us, Orlando? Eric said, I assumed, given the name, I'm a G-Men fan, all love. My best friend is a Dallas fan. We have fun times. Bruce said, I remember how they kept floating in public how much the Knicks could offer him. They knew he wasn't going to take it. I think they hoped. Here's the thing. I don't want to get on a Hartenstein tangent. I don't. I really don't. We're not even covering a Thunder game here today. I don't want to talk about Isaiah Hartenstein. The thing that bothers me most is if he just said, I had a great time in New York. It was time for me to move on. Not a big city kind of guy. OKC's the right fit. And they offered me more money. Thanks for everything, New York. But it was time for me to move on. I would have been extremely upset. But I would have gotten it. Instead, he tried to gaslight everybody. And some people bought it. That's what bothered me. I think that's what bothered me. Is that people bought the little sob story of, oh, I love New York so much. Oh, it was so hard. It's such a hard decision. No, it wasn't. Just say you wanted to leave. Just say you wanted to go to a different team. Say you didn't want to be in New York anymore. It is very clear and very evident that you did not. But don't gaslight me. Don't do that to me. I'm dumb. I'm going to fall for that. You didn't want to be in New York anymore. If you wanted to be in New York, it wasn't that big of a difference in money. Because, by the way, he's now playing in Oklahoma City Thunder, and people forget he's even in a Thunder. You know what I mean? People forget he's a center on that team. Because they have Chet Holmgren, they have J-Dub, they have SGA, the MVP. People forget Hartenstein's on that team. He wasn't even the most important offseason acquisition for them last offseason. That goes to Alex Caruso, who was invaluable to them in beating the Denver Nuggets by guarding Nikola Jokic. Which, by the way, they got the guy they traded for to guard Nikola Jokic, or the guy they signed in the offseason to guard Nikola Jokic, and Isaiah Hartenstein, wasn't even the guy who was capable of doing it when push comes to shove. That went to Alex Caruso. But you could have had all the glory and made all the money off the court to make up for the contract disparity that OKC offered you. But instead, you took the easy way out, and then you tried to gaslight the fan base into thinking that you actually cared about them. No, you did not. No, you did not. You went to the cornballs down in Oklahoma. Charles Austin said, the Mitchie iHeart tandem really is something. Yeah. It would have been, right now, think about that. They would be, by far, the best defensive tandem big men in the NBA. It's not even close. Deb Snyder, what's up, Deb? Peyton Pritchard and Derek White, each with 4 fouls in Boston. Could be interesting. All right, hold on. Let's go around the league. Coming back out of this timeout, but it's still 17-point games. Let's go around the league a little bit. 88-84 in the third quarter. Okay. We definitely missed out on a banger here in this one. Warriors, Wizards, decently close. That's what, an 8-point game there. We have Blazers, Nets, and the Blazers are just fully running away with it. Is my guy, Scoot Henderson, at least playing well? I'm losing money on my Scoot Henderson stock, man. It is in the toilet right now, my Scoot Henderson stock. Big Scoot, 14 points off the bench, 4 assists, 4 for 5 from the foul line, 2 for 3 from 3. All right, at least Scoot's having a good game against the Brooklyn Nets here tonight. Shout out my guy Scoot. Shout out Big Scooterton. Banchero down the lane. Gets blocked. Comes Atlanta pushing it the other way. All the way to the rim for CJ McCollum as he split the defense. All right. Where's my mic? Where's everything? Finish there for, who is that? Jett Howard? Jett Howard with the finish. Wendell Carter Jr. with the finish. Jalen Johnson, the straightaway 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound to Suggs with no headband. Suggs with no headband is a crazy look. Carter Jr. up top. Still a 17-point game, 8 minutes to go. Suggs over to Carter Jr., straightaway 3. In and out halfway down. He can't get it to stay. Sean too funny. Is Paolo in? Paolo was in. 18 points, 3 for 12 from the field. 10 rebounds. Kuminga gets fouled. He's going to go to the foul line for 2. 7:49 to go. Keenar said, sell Paolo, buy Scoot. I've never held Paolo, Scott. I've never had Paolo stock. Actually, that's not true. I definitely thought Paolo should have been the number 1 overall pick in his draft. So maybe I held Paolo stock at one time in my life. But I've not held. I've long since sold any Paolo stock I may have held. But I have all my Scoot Henderson stock, and I even soaked in a couple of people who were selling theirs off. I'm going to hold it on. Next year is my breaking point. If he doesn't show me something next year, I'm selling it. It's already in the basement, my stock anyway, so. Daniel said, is your mic even working? Not at all. Not at all. It is plastic. It is a prop mic. I just need something to do with my hands. Mic is right here. There we go. Mic's right there. Little tiny guy. Little lav mic. All right, here we go. They split their free throws, Kuminga. Banchero gets it over to Carter. Carter catches, pump fakes. I think you just got to kind of let it fly. Lets it fly now. Off the step back, can't get it to go. And not looking likely here for Orlando. Keenar said, Diamond Hand Scoot. Come on, man. Let's not. I don't want to talk about Scoot, man. It's going to make me sad. I was so high on Scoot Henderson, man. You know, obviously that's the Wemby draft, and I was so delusional. I was like, hey, why is Wemby in a tier in his own? Let's not discount Scoot Henderson. Scoot Henderson might be in that tier too. Hold on, like I get Wemby the number 1 pick, but let's not discount Scoot Henderson. He might be a generational franchise-changing player too. I was so delusional, and I'm still delusional. Keenar said, look, Scoot's been hurt. He could still be good. Yeah, but I don't think he's the guy I thought he could be. I thought he was a franchise-changing point guard. I thought he was new generation Derrick Rose. I was delusional. I was too blinded by the stories. I fell right into the propaganda. It just it's not good. It's not good. Eric C said, can see a game. Only because if you are ever in New York, we can see a game? What are we talking about? K. Hazy said, Suggs is killing them. Yeah, not a good Suggs game. Not a good Suggs game at all. It's 16, by the way. 6:20 to go. It's not crazy. It's not crazy that they can make this comeback. We're approaching the halfway point. Turnover. Jet Howard over to Paolo. Back to Jet. Jet with the layup. It's a 14-point game, y'all. 14. Okay. We're going to give him a chance here. We're going to give him a chance. Deshaun Green. What's up, Deshaun Green? What's going on with Tristan? Tristan Da Silva. He's not in the game right now. It's not like he's been great for them here tonight. Jet Howard's been far more impactful. He's already up to 7 points. Paul Newman. What's up, Paul? Suggs is my favorite player, and I'm a Pacers fan. Shaking my head. He's not been good tonight. 4 for 11 from the field. 8.6 points, 5 assists. But he just doesn't look super healthy. He's just not having like a very impactful game. I know he's coming back from the injury, but FJJ, what's up, JJ? Where's Bane? Bane also on the bench right now. Team Clockwork Bass Fishing. What's up, team? Team Clockwork. Bane is on the bench, brother. Bane is on the bench. Eric C. was trying to take Cowboys. My bad. See, sometimes I just dive right into the middle of a conversation. I don't know what's going on. Cleon, Tristan is on the bench, brother. J-Lo K said, how many points does Trae Young have? I don't know, brother. I don't know. We can go around the league, though. And we can check, I guess. So it's only a 14-point game. Fake comeback on the way? Fake comeback on the way, maybe. Maybe. Deshaun said, Tristan let me down. Banchero getting all his rebounds. Warriors, Wizards. Knocked on his out. Look, doesn't Anthony Gill from a distance on a quick look, now the picture's changed, but doesn't he look like Trae Young? Doesn't he look like Trae Young? Let's check out Trae Young's stat line here tonight. Trae Young with 21 on 7% from the field. It's pretty good. 21, 5 assists for Trae. He's a +3. He's in the positive. In a game they're trailing by 6 with 2:30 to go in the fourth. Timmy said, who looks like Trae? This man right here. I'm going to pull his profile up. Where is he at? Anthony Gill. All right, let's pull up Trae Young too while we're at it. Compare them. Maybe I'm crazy. Look at Anthony Gill. And just a quick look. Obviously, if you look at them for too long, they're not going to look alike at all. But just a quick boom and then boom. Boom. Okay, when I do this, they don't look like each other at all. I'm more so talking about the curly head top and the beard. Right? So just on a quick look, oh, that's Trae Young. No, wait, no, that's not Trae Young. That's... Come on. I know when I do this, they don't look like each other at all. I know. But real quick, do they not kind of look like each other? Kind of, right? Kind of. A little bit. You can see where I'm coming from, right? He said he looked like Trae for a good second. Just for 1 second. It makes you double take. You look at it, right? You're just looking real quick and you go, oh, there's Trae Young. And then you go, wait, that's not Trae Young. That doesn't look like him. Timmy said a little more like Julian Champagnie. A little bit. Champagnie doesn't have the beard, though. Or does he have the beard? I don't even know. Alexander-Walker knocks down a 3. That's not going to help. The Nets getting absolutely smoked by the Blazers. Real quick, we'll go around, and then we'll get back into this game. 3 from Javon Carter, can't get it to go. And it looks like they're going to wind it down. My timer was taking the whole time, but we're all right. Got 5:30 to go here. The Suns and Celtics still locked in a tight one early fourth quarter. And another 3. It's back up to 20 by Alexander-Walker. And we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up there, folks. My goodness. Timmy said, doesn't Champagnie have a twin on the Wizards? Yes, Justin Champagnie's on the Wizards. Julian Champagnie's on the Spurs. We got Grizzlies, Bulls. Bulls pulling away from the Grizzlies, up by 16. You got Pelicans destroying the Mavs. The Pelicans getting good just in time to play the New York Knicks again, of course. Deshaun said, Tristan, no return in the fourth quarter? Probably not. Probably no Tristan De Silva here tonight. And then our late games, we have Lakers, Rockets, Spurs, Clippers, but we will not be doing them. We will not be doing those. But this one's going to wrap it up, man. They're up by 20 again, 5:29 to go. That's not a good look. Not a good look at all. We could see Alexander-Walker, 39 points tonight. Like, you're going to get 40 balled by Alexander-Walker here. That should say it all. Paul Newman said, physically, Scoot has everything, from the shoulders up and confidence that he's lacking. Yeah, unfortunately, I thought the confidence was not going to be an issue. Again, the injuries have occurred for Scoot Henderson, so I'm giving him next season. If he doesn't show me something next season, I'm selling my stock. I'm selling my Scoot Henderson stock, man. We can take a look at this box score, too, while we're here. It's a 20-point game. 20-point game. Magic about to hit a 3. Shout out Orlando. But Alexander Walker, 9 for 13 from three-point range. He hit 9 threes tonight. Maybe guard that guy. Maybe run him off the line. It's an important game. A 3 for Jed Howard. Got it to go. Kay Hazy said, no, bringing out the season? Absolutely. 20-point per game score. He scored 9 points per game last year. He's scoring 20 this season. It's insane. Jace Richardson's in the game. They're looking for any kind of offense they can get. Any kind of offense they can get. And Jed Howard smokes a lay, but Bataze right there. They put in Goga Bataze, and he gets fouled. He gets fouled. But they're going to score. It's going to be back to 15 in a second. Let's do this. It's going to be back to 15. $98 to 115 right now. Why are the Magic giving up so early? Maybe they just don't trust their defense. Yeah, they do have their end of the bench guys in. Yeah, I will say Wendell Carter Jr. I might lean some Bataze over Wendell Carter Jr. after watching this game, man. Blake said, I read that one. Why are the Magic giving up so early? I don't know. Why did Bane not play during that comeback? I don't know. But an and one layup for Dyson Daniels will push it back up to 18 if he knocks down the free throw. And they have their end of the bench guys in, and we're going to wrap it up there, folks. We're going to wrap it up there. Unfortunately, we didn't get a very good game here tonight. I thought, I overthought it. We've done a couple of Celtics games in a row, right? We should have just stuck with reliable. Should have just stuck with the Celtics playing the Suns tonight. I just didn't know how the Suns were going to be able to match up with no Dylan Brooks. But apparently, they're going to match up pretty well. They're going to match up pretty well regardless. It's a 5-point game with 9 minutes left to go in that fourth quarter. Daniel Dash said, non-inspired by his cousin SGA. A little bit. Maybe. I'll tell you what, that's definitely a bloodline that's not, the worst bloodline to bet on. Sean Too Funny said, Paolo's to win. Paolo is out. So tonight is going to end up being slightly disappointing. Slightly disappointing basketball game. We definitely chose the wrong one. Should have did Suns Celtics. It's a 5-point. It's a 4-point game. It's a 12-point game, by the way. So maybe we're not going to log off. Maybe we're going to stick around for a second. Daniel Dash said, are you doing Lakers versus Rockets? No Lakers versus Rockets today. No doubleheader. Lakers are on my ban list. I don't think they're a very fun team to watch. Tell you what, Orlando, very low on the priority list right now. They're inching closer to the ban list every time we watch them. Brew Nation, what's up, Brew? I chose the right one. I don't know about you. Won my bet. Shout out to you, Brew Nation. Shout out to you. Anything but Boston, thanks. Boston is fun to watch. That's the problem. Boston is a fun basketball team to watch. So I think we're just gonna lean on the more fun teams. Tomorrow we got Heat Hornets. We have the Knicks playing, so that's fine. We know what we're watching. Watching the Knicks play the Pacers again, but we will be there. Paul Newman said Pritchard is exciting. Everyone's exciting. Brown's exciting. Tatum's exciting. Kata's exciting. You know, Austin's playstyle is exciting. Daniel Dash, the T-Mac, and Vince Carter are cousins too. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Like I said, it's worth betting on the bloodline. Heat Hornets should be a fun one. Thunder Magic, maybe that's a fun one. We'll see if the Magic can respond after today's terrible showing. Pistons Wizards should be a bad game. Knicks Pacers hopefully is a bad game. It is in Madison Square Garden. The Knicks finally stay home after a stint there. You got Cavs Bucks. You know, Giannis versus the Cavs. I guess just don't trust the Bucks at all. They're on the ban list as well. You got Suns Timberwolves. That's a fun game right there. Suns Timberwolves. You got the injured hospital 76ers taking on the Nuggets. That should be an easy victory for the Nuggets there. And then you end the night with the Spurs versus the Kings. So we know what game we're watching. Watching Knicks versus Pacers as always. Knicks always take precedent over everything else. 12-point game. Alexander-Walker gets fouled. Trying to get the 40 ball. Get the 40 ball, Alexander-Walker. Get your 40 points, brother. Get your 40 points. Brew Nation, I love this channel, by the way. Appreciate you, Brew. Appreciate you. So we know what game we're watching on Tuesday. It's the only game we're going to be able to watch. I mean, maybe we could watch 76ers Nuggets, but why would we want to do that? Maybe we could watch Spurs Kings because that's around the time 7:30 ends, 2.5 hours. Ends at 10. Paul Newman said Knicks are pretenders. We'll see, brother. We'll see. See come playoff time. You know, we could tune into one of these two games right after the Knicks game, but why would we want to do that? We're not watching the Kings, and we're not watching the Hospital Sixers. So tomorrow we're just coverage Knicks Pacers. Got one game on the docket tomorrow. What's going on Wednesday? Wednesday's Warriors Celtics. Not interested. No Steph Curry still. Celtics will definitely take care of business in that one. Thunder Nets, bad game. Blazers Pacers, no thanks. Raptors Bulls, not really. Jazz Timberwolves, yikes. Clippers Pelicans, no thank you. Although, hold on. Clippers Pelicans. Clippers playing well, Pelicans playing well. But no thanks. Hawks Mavs, I'm good on the Hawks for a while. Nuggets Grizzlies, no thank you. No thanks. Lakers Rockets, a rematch of Lakers Rockets. It's a late night game though, 9:30 start time. I don't know, guys. There's really no game to watch here other than Lakers Rockets, but you guys know the Lakers are on my ban list. We might end up taking Wednesday off. It's a 16-point game, by the way. This one's over. We might end up taking Wednesday off. Spurs, Kings, Sac have won 4 or 5. Okay. Has Embiid ever played versus Jokic? I mean, he has played versus Jokic, yes. He hasn't played Jokic in Denver in, I think 5 seasons, 6 seasons, something like that. The record is crazy. The record is crazy how long it's been. Paul Newman said, Mike, nice meeting you, man. I subscribe. Appreciate you, Paul. Appreciate you. Thank you for that subscription, man. Thank you for hanging out with us. We will be live for the rest of the season as long as we have a good game to watch. So we might take Wednesday off because there's really no good game to watch at all. And then Thursday we'll come back. Knicks play, I assume. No Knicks game on Thursday. So they're going to have 2 days off? Cool. Knicks are going to have 2 days off. So what are we watching Thursday? Cavs, Bulls, Suns, Spurs might be interesting. Might watch Suns, Spurs. Which is a 8 o'clock start time. That's not bad. Yeah. I mean, Magic Hornets could be fun. Looks he is deliberately avoiding Jokic. It definitely looks that way, for sure. For sure. It has always definitely looked that way. The Knicks play the Nets on Friday, so that'll be the next time after this Pacers game. But with that being said, we'll continue to talk about it as the season goes on, as the week goes on. That is going to wrap up our coverage. This is not the final score, but final score has been over. This game has been over for a while, so we're going to end it right here. There's a minute left to go. But I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me here today, even though it was a pretty unentertaining game all around. Thought we were going to get a good one. We did not. Should have stuck with my gut and just continued to go with the good teams, right? So if we're going to watch a team, we're going to try and make it the good teams, not these middling teams, unfortunately, for Orlando and Atlanta. I gave them an opportunity. 9-game winning streak versus 7-game winning streak, and they didn't deliver, unfortunately. So we will be back. 40 Scoop said Magic Hornets. We'll see. We'll talk about it as the week goes on. But that's going to wrap it up. We will be back tomorrow for Knicks versus Pacers, an actual good game, probably, because we know the Pacers love to play the Knicks tough, and the Knicks in a little bit of a slump right now, getting off the slow starts, not playing well, playing down to the competition even though they've picked up these wins. It's not been a good look at all. So hopefully they get back on track tomorrow and they come out with a blowout victory after everybody had what they had to say in the locker room after the game. So with that being said, Daniel Dash, Roger G. Wall, Sons Gen, appreciate you guys. 40 Scope, thank you guys. Paul Newman. We will be live again tomorrow. And until then, remember to brush your teeth before bed. Stay hydrated. And I'll catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody. Bye.